Just what on earth is Gazoo Racing? Gazoo Racing is a spirit. The spirit of pushing one's limits. It's more than just a badge, a symbol, or a poster on a wall. Gazoo Racing is Kaizen of competitiveness. It's the rubber hitting the road again and again and again. Fine-tuned on the world's most demanding racetracks. Powered not just by all forms of energy, but also by our passion to accelerate, exhilarate, elevate the Toyota mandate of making ever better cars. Moving not just people, but the human spirit forward. This is our spirit. This is Gazoo Racing.
Toyota. Move your world.
Ready, team. We have 5 and counting. If we don't make it, everything goes boom.
Package on the move.
Release the beast.
ETA 1 Mike. Standing by. Ready to receive. Package acquired. Inbound. 1 click.
Watch out!
That was a close call.
3 minutes to target. Let's burn! Be on you in 5. It's going to be too close.
It's not over yet.
Clock ticking. Punching.
Package received.
Whoa, this thing's fast.
Target in sight. The beasts are here. 5, 4.
Now! Nice work, guys.
I'm gonna need some new tires.
Toyota tires.
pun bersedia. Bagaimana dengan anda Toyota Gazoo Racing fans? Selamat kembali. Sekarang masa menunjukkan 12.15 petang. Terima kasih kerana masih setia bersama-sama kami. Dan Alhamdulillah pada sedikit masa lagi 2:30 petang kita akan mulakan round 1 of season 6. This is race day 1. This is Gazoo Racing. Jadi kepada anda yang nak mengetahui siapa yang akan race selepas ni. Selepas ini 2:30 petang, it is tak salah saya Super Sporting Class ya, Super Sporting Class. Dan kalau boleh kita lihat apakah program kita untuk hari ini. So we can take a look at the program flash. Jadi kepada anda yang sedang menonton, kita tahu bila kita nak tumpukan perhatian, which race shall we be concentrating on. 2:30 PM we shall be starting with Super Sporting Class and Rookie Class juga. Pada pukul 3:30 petang nanti, kita mulakan dengan Promotional Class pula. Kepada anda yang menyokong selebriti-selebriti kegemaran anda, bersiap siaga. Okey, pada pukul 3:30 petang nanti. 4:30 petang pula adalah perlombaan Race 1 untuk Sporting Class. Dan selepas itu, jangan ke mana-mana juga kerana kita ada persembahan istimewa daripada seorang TGR family member kita yang tak dapat berlumba tapi masih merindui kita semua. Wany Hasrita akan kembali untuk satu persembahan istimewa khas untuk anda peminat-peminat Toyota Gazoo Racing. Baiklah, untuk Super Sporting Class dan Rookie Class, we have to say congratulations to the Axel Motorsports boys, Alistair as well as Nakib Azlan ya. Untuk Alistair Yung, tak sangka ya untuk season yang lepas. Beliau mungkin cuba mencari arah, cuba mencari jalan, cuba mencari identiti sendiri. Tapi season 6 ini, wow, terbakar track kita. Mendapat pole position, he's in first place. Dan di tempat kedua adalah champion Sporting Class pada musim yang lepas, Muhammad Nakib Azlan. Nakib Azlan ni champion Rookie Class. Dia masuk Sporting Class, dia jadi champion dan sekarang orang kata berentap dengan professional drivers. Dia bukan rempit ya, dia berentap begitu. So, Muhammad Nakib Azlan ni muda orangnya dan tak sangka beliau betul-betul memberi cabaran yang hebat kepada drivers-drivers di Super Sporting Class yang semestinya mempunyai lebih banyak pengalaman. Itulah dia penangan Axel Motorsports. Congratulations guys. Let's see how you guys do. Sementara itu, Mitchell Chia dan juga Tengku Janleh daripada Primaple Auto yang unggul pada musim yang lepas. Kali ini, Mitchell Chia di tempat yang kelima, grid yang kelima, dan untuk Tengku Janleh pula di tempat yang ke-10. Adakah ini strategi? Saya dah bertanya kepada Tengku Janleh tadi. Dia pun dah kata, sebenarnya ada masalah dengan masalah kereta dan sebagainya. Saya rasa ini semua hanya mengaburi mata lawan-lawan beliau. Jadi apa yang bakal terjadi, we shall begin the race very, very soon at 2:30 PM. Manakala untuk Rookie Class pula, kita dah bertanya kepada Alex Yung ya, yang juga menjadi ala-ala sifu kepada rookies-rookies kita, Class of 2023. Dan kalau kita lihat barisannya, ada satu mix yang istimewa. Ada di antara rookie-rookie kita yang sejak dari 10 tahun dah mula go-karting ya. They grew up with the smell of burning rubber. Of course, we also have those who have trained simulation racing sahaja. Hanya menggunakan mesin dan hanya menggunakan internet. Dan kali pertama mereka datang ke Sepang International Circuit. Adakah mereka yang melalui simulation racing training ni akan berjaya untuk memberi saingan kepada mereka yang dah biasa dengan track, yang dah biasa dengan petrol, yang biasa dengan feel of the car on the road? Kita akan saksikan bagaimana prestasi Super Sporting Class dan juga Rookie Class. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin round 1. This is race day 1. Bersiap sedia semuanya. This is Gazoo Racing. Bersama saya, Nazruddin Rahman. Saya akan menemani anda sepanjang round 1 ini. Jadi jangan ke mana-mana sekali lagi. Dan sokonglah rider atau drivers kegemaran anda semua. Baiklah, kita ada 20 saat lagi untuk kita ke casters kita. And of course, our casters are ready to give you the lowdown and the latest information. We have Nick Harris and Matthews Isaacs. They are on standby. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a warm welcome online. Ini kata tepuk virtual begitu. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over to the casters. Boys, it's time to do your job.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We do hope all of you are ready seatbelts all fastened and geared up because it's time for race number 1. Our first race of the season featuring super sporting and the rookies together in one class.
Absolutely. So you'll be really much looking forward to this race because this race is the one that has a lot of drama there, Nick. So I just can't wait to see what is the entire story for today because we know what happened before, but right now it's a whole different new season, a new race. So it's going to be them writing the story. So here we go. We have all of our races. We have Tengku Zhan Lee and we have Nakib Nur Aslan in the super sporting. We have Alistair Young, who had a very good timing on the qualifyings. Aaron Lim, who should be one of the new names, of course. And here is William Ho on the super sporting as well. Brandon Paul coming in as well from Royal 47 Racing. Michel Chia, who will be joining alongside with Tengku Zhan. And here is Putra Adam and Hayden Haikal, the defending champion from Axel Sport. So there you go, man. Wong Chin Ang. We also have Dato Kenfu, who got back as well. And Nabil Aslan from Axel Sports, Hazik O from the 20 Racing Team, Abdul Mikhail from 23 Motors, and Mohammad Alif Safwi. And the next one is going to be Amirul Haikal. And here we go for Kenneth Co from Panglima City Racing. And here you go, Bradley Benedict, Kenneth Tay. And let's have a look on Shanmuganathan Armugam. Yep.
And Tamimi Tahang from Zakin Boulevard, as well as Lau Seng Kiat from Saksama Motorsports, Aaron Haikal from Distinctive Model, Dennis Ng from HLT Group, as well as Amir Miza from 23 Motors, Shafiq Samsudin from Race Rally KL, Dr. Danny Yip from Proficar Racing Team, and now rookie class, Nazmir Aslan, Azril Azhar, Elson Liu, a new face, as well as Iman Danish, Yazid Razak, and Arif Azmi, as well as the promotional class newcomers Reen Rahim, Ayn Edrus, a veteran in the class, Zizan Razak, well known in the class as well, Shukri Yahya, multiple winners, and Imran Akil, another new face, as well as Ahirin Ahiruddin, one of the favorites to win this. Hefni Sahad in the promotional class as well with Shaidatul Afifa, and Ezrin Loy, in my opinion, one of the best performers in the promotional class. We do hope each and every one of you are hydrated, got some good food in, because it is hot heat. The weather is fantastic, as you can see here. The air temperature at 32 degrees Celsius with the track temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. It's partly cloudy, but judging from what we see, the point systems are going to be shown here. Very self-explanatory, very easy to pick up on. First position will get 20 points, the biggest of points to accrue. Second is going to be 15 points. Third, 12. Fourth position, 10. P5 is going to be 8. And this is the Sepang International Circuit North Track that we are going to be racing on, 2,706 meters with a total of 9 turns. An average of 127 to 128 is the number time that we have been able to gather from all of our races across all of the classes, and this is the vehicle. Matthews, break it down for us.
Yeah, of course, they're going to be using the same Vios, of course, and we already saw this in the previous videos as well. But man, although it is the same machine, the drivers are also going to be put on to test right now. Not only the cars over here, but the drivers that comes in, the most important part here.
And I think it's really important to note that all of these, the proprietary stock from the, how to say, accessories that come in with the vehicle as well have been changed up and has been provided to ensure better performance on the circuit. From a TRD to the Motec C125 race display, as well as every other bits and bobs that make a very, very capable stock car within the Sepang circuit, with the 5-speed manual transmission, with the auto blip and OMP first 6-point harness, ensuring that safety is our #1 priority. We do try to create the best environments to promote safety. And of course, the weight ballast there, I'm sure all of you are wondering why the weight ballast. For those that have been able to accrue points and are too dominant, we do put some weight ballast to ensure the handicap, to make sure that each and every one of the drivers have a fair chance to succeed within the race.
As far as I know, most of them, whoever puts the ballast and stuff, they have been doing pretty well. You know, it's just them being consistently showing the very best on the track. So it looks a little bit cloudy, and I kind of feel like maybe it might rain there, Nick, because you never know. The weather here in Sepang is mysterious.
Well,
Yeah.
the movement of clouds may suggest otherwise, but we do hope rain will not be a factor here today. Remember to move your world with Toyota here at the Sepang International Circuit, the North Loop, the North Track, excuse me, as we're getting underway. Race marshals, race officials now in a presence to attend the super sporting class and rookies that are gathering underway. And I do agree with you here with the clouds that are
It's getting
above us.
darker, man.
It is starting to get darker here, and this may signify that rain could be on the agenda for some of our drivers.
So is
And
this
we-
some kind of hand sign or something?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just taking in the time here, maybe pointing to the weather as well, that rain could be on the horizon, which could actually affect the gripping for the tires within the track. And of course, our race director here relaying the necessary instructions as well as ensuring top quality in terms of procedures are followed up from start to finish, not to ensure safety, but to ensure order as we are on a schedule.
Absolutely. So I guess most of them are pretty much getting ready. And we saw the sirens earlier on, and this is none other than Nakib Aslan, who will be going into the race as well. And he has some sort of deal to go on as well, because we know once you are on the track, things are going to be very, very different, and they just can't wait to go through really, really hard there, because, you know, the rivalry is going to get even intense among the ones that had lots of drama from the previous season. But, you know, the racers like Nakib Aslan and also the several others are the one that is going to be taking advantage from here. But this is a thing that we really need to have a look on there, Nick.
The highlights are from the super sporting class qualifiers, if I'm not
Qualifying,
mistaken.
yeah.
Not qualifiers. I think it might be the race from the previous season, if I remember correctly here. No, excuse me. I'm very, very... that was my mistake there. This is the qualifying race
the qualifying,
highlights.
yeah.
So I do think that what we have in store here is a very, very consistent amount of display from the young Alistair Young, who has shown his ability to be able to garner huge success in scoring a big positional win in terms of snatching away pole position from everybody else. But will he still be able to maintain that pole position? We shall have to wait and see.
Absolutely. So there you go. We have all the necessaries that we have seen throughout the races. And right now, they have already put a very good timing on the clock. And it's time to put the entire test on the track, Danik.
All right, our eye above the sky here. Beautiful drone shots to show you the scale of which, I mean, it may not look like it's a huge margin here, but when you're on the track, you do feel the sense of scale. And of course, this is the rookie highlights from the qualifying that just happened this morning here for our rookie drivers. And it seems that I think it was I can't find my notes here, but looking at how it has been a very strong showing from the rookies.
It is.
I do think that the rookies themselves are not only looking to prove themselves worthy adversaries to the super sporting class, but also to garner as much experience as they can.
Yes, I think I would put my entire eyes on this kid called Elson Liu. And he's been doing pretty well. So let's see what he has on the rookies, because these are all new faces, none of them from the previous season. And let's see what they have there, Nick.
All right, looking at it here, let's take a look at the grid. Before we talk about that, Matthews, Alistair Young holding on to his pole position, not too far behind him, Nakib Aslan, as well as Lee Kawai, Mitchell Chia, Putra Adam, and it seems that we won't be able to go through the grid yet, as they are going to be getting their practice lap, or if I'm not mistaken, a starting lap before we flag off. And as you can see, our eye in the sky paints a beautiful picture of what is in store.
This is a moving picture, then, Nick.
Yes, it's art.
It's an art, yeah.
It's definitely a piece of artwork. They're motorsports artwork for sure, as we're going to be seeing all of our drivers here are going to be opening up with this, I'd say, warm-up lap, so to speak, just to
Promotional lap, yeah.
just to get themselves, how to say, not to say integrated, but just to get the bearings
taste of
right.
the track before they go in. Yeah,
Yes.
so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look on the starting grid where we see Alistair Young, Nakib Nur Aslan, Eddie Liu, Putra Adam, and we see Michelle Chia and also Hayden Haikal. And that is the starting 6. And let's have a look on to the next one, if we're going to get information on that. And here we go. We see Aaron Lim, William Ho, and on the P9 we see Brandon Paul. P10 it's going to be Tengku Jean Lee. P11 for Freddie Ang. P12 for Rahul Raj Meya. I'm really interested to see on this one as well. Rahul, man.
Yeah, Rahul Raj Meyer could actually be a standout here. Arif Azmi, Iman Danish, Nazmia Azlan, Elson Leo, Yazid Razak, and Azril Azhar make up our other 3 rows here from rows 7, 8, and 9. As we have said beforehand, the rookie classes have been on the grid as well, alongside with the super sporting class, and this could actually give them a taste of what is up to compete with the titans of the super sporting class. We're going to be in the vehicle for a brief moment with Nazmir Azlan, if I'm not mistaken, as we're going to be seeing more and more of our drivers here coming out from the final chicane, as they're going to be heading into their starting positions.
Yep, so I guess they'll be coming back into their grid, and the flag's off, and here we go for the race. And ladies and gentlemen, if you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6, as we are about to start our Super Sporting and Rookie Class race number 1, Nick.
Race number 1 is about to go underway, and it's going to be one crazy ride indeed. I hope each and every one of you are ready, as it is most likely going to be lights out. It's going to be go, go, go. Safety car is here, most likely going to make one more lap around. Oh no, it's going to be lights out here. And go, go, go. 20 laps to go, as we see a beautiful start from all of our races here. Super Sporting and Rookie classes now going up head-to-head with one another. We do see one of the races here going out on the line, maybe coming out from a very wide angle indeed. Could be tremendously difficult for him to be able to get that speed out coming from it, but it's going to be a sharp angle indeed. Alistair Young still ahead. Nakib Azhar not too far behind. Matthews, this could be a start of a tremendous... Oh my goodness,
no.
Already from the start we do
Brandon
see
Paul.
one. Oh no, again it seems that the streak is still cursed upon Brandon Paul again, as we're going to be seeing from the replay at least a little bit more information. But 20 laps, not even the first lap done and dusted, and we do see Brandon Paul already out and about, at least out, spun out of the circuit.
Yeah, so Alistair Young is still keeping up his pace, although he's the fastest man on the qualifyings. And right now, he's keeping a very, very good pace in P1. And talking about the rest, Nakib Azlan as well, keeping a good line from the back. So we have another 20 more laps to go as we're coming into turn number 8. And this is the moment for most of the racers to, at least extend the gap. By looking at how things have been going at the back, it looks like there's a gap building up. But here we go. Alistair Young still keeping up, and he's still in P1. And right behind him is going to be Nakib Nur Aslan on the car number 17. But that's a very, very bad luck for none other than Brandon Paul. Man, I think the scripts have not changed, Nick. Even through the previous seasons, he had gearbox problem. He had so many other technical difficulties, but over here, he spun out in the first lap. And right now, we are into the lap number 2. And it still seems like Alistair Young maintaining. Oh, that's a little bit of a debris there. is on the track there, Nick.
Yeah, a little bit of debris there. Don't think the safety car is going to come into play, but we do see a little bit of trimmings here starting to hang about some of the vehicles. Not entirely sure whether that was Nakib Aslan's vehicle. I think it is. Yeah, we do see a bit of trimming there starting to skirt about, but Alistair Young still very much ahead in terms of his performance, holding on towards position number 1, and seems that he's using his position to the best of his abilities here, and definitely going to be a big advantage for him if he keeps up this pace. Not too far behind him, Nakib Aslan, Eddie Liu, Mitchell Chia, Hayden Haikal, and Putra Adam make up our top 6. William Ho, Aaron Lim, Sinku Janlei, Arif Azmi, Rahul Mayer, and Freddie Ang make up our middle 6, and our lower 6 is going to be Freddie Ang, Elson Liu, Iman Danish, Azrael Azhar, Nazmir Aslan, and Yazid Razak and Brandon Paul, who I think will be removed from the race.
I think he might be at least 1 lap behind or something there. We'll get the updates very, very soon. But ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We are still in the race number 1 for our super sporting class plus the rookie class as well. So far, the battle has not stopped between Alistair Young and also Nakib at this moment. They are still keeping up a very, very strong gap, which is Nakib is not letting Alistair breathe over there. As they are coming into turn number 2, things are getting... Oh, there you go. The car is out there, Nick. I saw the car on the left, and I believe that is Brendan Paul's car. So I believe he might not be continuing the race, and there's a little bit of loss of connections, but never mind. Here we go. We're back into our race with 18 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Michel Chia on P4 at this moment, and if you're looking on his history, he kind of had a really, really good chance on the previous season. But unfortunately, things did not go to plan on the last race of the previous season. So hence why right now he is trying to get himself back in the top 3, or maybe get into the podium position or win this race perhaps, because there's 18 laps to go and this is going to be a long, long run, although Alistair is leading the race.
Brendan Paul, they're definitely a recipient of the baddest luck, and you see that contact at turn number 1. I think that is going to be from that first contact that happened with Brendan Paul under investigation, meaning that it is going to be checked over, scrutinized very, very intensely by our race director as well as the race management staff. Looking forward here, we do see that the drone is going to be able to get the following footage of everyone in play, and I do think that the amount of distance that Alistair Young is starting to garner for himself compared to everyone else in the pack here is starting to show that Alistair Young has come really prepared here in this season, and I think they're just gunning for going for the proverbial kill shot here, looking towards ending it and keeping that dominance in full display, Matthew.
But although, you know, they are from the same team, they are from Axel Sports, but I'm very, very sure that, you know, Nakib is still pushing Alistair over here. I mean, of course, it's not wrong to push your teammate, but at the same time, you need to also keep an eye on the back as well, because, you know, some of them are coming back with lots of vengeance in their eyes at this moment. But here you go. On P1, it is still Alistair Young, ladies and gentlemen, and P2, it's going to be Nakib Nur Aslan on P2, and P3, we have a look on Adi Liu, which is the car number 6, and right at the back is going to be Michel Chia. Hayden Haikal as well, the defending champion, the boy who actually escaped lots of actions in the previous race, right now is still in the top 5. Will this going to be changing at any moment? We will be finding that out very, very shortly. But man, look at this. The car number 99, we're having a look over here. And that is definitely going to be Arif Azmi. It's the rookie class leading this race there, Nick.
Yeah, in his position, he is,
he was
overall
faster,
position.
You know? Yeah.
Overall position, he's going to be in 10th spot. However, within the rookie class, he is going to be maintaining first lead position. So that's going to be proving a bit of a a bit of a confidence booster for Arif Azmi. Alistair Young here definitely has most of his rookies and a majority of the super sporting class drivers in his rear view mirror here, trying to get as much distance as he can. Nakib Aslan still looking towards improving his position against his teammate here, but it seems that either way, the biggest winner for this race, number one, if this keeps up at the end of 16 laps after the completion of it, is going to be Axel Sports.
I remember Victor was telling me, you know, Arif Azmi might be one of the persons that actually can give lots of challenge for the other racers, and it seems like he is. He's in the top 10 right now, and he's leading against some of the other racers from the Super Sporting. And although it's not official, but unofficially, but let's go and let's see how he is able to put more pressure on his other competitors. But right now we are still having a look on the P1, and here you go. You might be seeing a move over here from the car number 39, and that's believed to be William Ho. William Ho, I kind of call him the aggressive driver, because we know in the previous season he was really aggressive. He was contributing to many parts of the races, of course, but this time let's see what's his plan. It is going to be the good guy or the bad guy, Danik.
Yeah, that could be the case here, as we do see that these drivers specifically for 5th spot, Putra Adam as well as Hayden Haikal, William Ho are going to be gunning it for each other. The distance between themselves here not too far off from positions 4, 5 and 6. 5 and 6, excuse me. But the gap is starting to build up here of 0.436 for Putra Adam in his favor. So if he keeps this up, he will be able to get more of that lead to build. However, with Alistair Young still trailing ahead, it is going to be a battle of just maintaining these top spots here. If Alistair will be able to score that big win after 15 more laps, it is going to be 20 points, if I'm not mistaken, in his pocket, putting him very high up in the lead.
Oh, that's also going to put lots of pressure as well, but looks very promising. And it seems like there's a contact on turn 1, a race incident. So I guess the director wants to have a word with that, but we'll push it on to the different segments of it. But here we go with 14 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 as we are underway for Super Sporting and Rookie Class. Race number 1, and talking about race number 1, who's leading at number 1, it is Alistair Young, the fastest man on the qualifying, and maybe he might be the fastest man on the track even at this moment, because he's still leading the race. That's very obvious. But right behind him is his own teammate Nakib Aslan. So is Axel Sports going to run this show on their own, or we might see some other races giving some sort of a pressure for Axel Sports, because so far Axel Sports is dominating this, Nick.
I do agree, and looking at the times here that are being accrued for Alistair Young as well as Nakib Aslan, very impressive indeed. 126 in lap number 3, 125 and 126 again for those respective laps coming into the 6th lap here. I do think that for Alistair, all he needs to do is just keep this up. Nakib Aslan as well should be very happy on the fact that his Axel Motorsports teammate is by far ahead of most of the pack here. Eddie Liu, Mitchell Shah, both these drivers as well, looking towards causing a bit of an impact on the track, but we may see something here come out. But we do see that for his ability to go on the inside line. Wait, we're going to be seeing a track warning limit here for Putra Adam. He's got to be very careful indeed. We're going to be seeing here tire to tire. Will he be able to come out on the outside and comes back on the inside? Beautifully done by Mitchell Chia. Mitchell Chia driving like he is out for revenge. Years and years of his participation in the Toyota Gazoo Racing seasons has left the man hungry for a win that continuously eludes him.
He has all the reasons to do that, Nate, because you know what happened in the previous season, because, you know, he was very close to winning the championship, but unfortunately things did not go to his plan, and he got sandwiched in between, not only by one racer or two racer, but it was lots and lots of other races as well. So that gave a lot of huge problems. I'm very sure he kept all the notes, he knew what he's got to do, and right now he is on the track, and right now he's in P3. He just got over Eddie Liu, so that means he's in P3, so he might be chasing the Axel Sport duos in the front, and that's none other than Alistair Young and also Nakib Aslan. But then looking at the gap between Michel Chan and also Nakib, it's quite some of a distance at the moment. But here we go, we might be seeing a move from the Putra Adam, who's right behind Eddie Liu. as we are coming straight into the Kuala Lumpur Straight. This is one of the reasons why it's called Kuala Lumpur Straight, actually. It's a name there, Nick, although we call it the Long Straight, but actually it has a name. It's called the Kuala Lumpur Straight, but here we go. Oh, no, he got closed over here. The car number 61, and he might be going inside. And how about the exit over here? Can he do it again? The car number 39, William Ho. Talking about William Ho, he has another long history about that. And talking about aggressive driving, he was one of the aggressive drivers last season. That he was bumping into so many cars, and he was causing a massive problem. But right now, he looks a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, very clean indeed in terms of his attempts here. Let's take a look at the replay. I think there was a little bit of contact here.
So are you dirty or what?
Oh, we do see a little bit of contact, but it does open up a beautiful entry, and the exit was just sublime. But we do see on the inside as well, he was able to maintain that positioning well. And as we do see 8 laps already completed by our drivers. As we can see already, track limit warnings have been issued by our race director as well, and it's really, really important for our drivers to observe these warnings. Far be it for them to be penalized, that is going to affect their overall performance and overall scoring moving forward.
Absolutely, 11 laps to go in our super sporting and also rookie class race number 1, and nothing much change in the front, and that seems to be Alistair Young and Nakib Aslan. The Axel Sport duos are dominating this race. And how about for this? We might be seeing a move over here, but then it looks like the braking point looks a little bit late from the car number 81. And that is Hayden Haikal, and I'm not sure what happened to Hayden Haikal. Last season he looks absolutely aggressive. He was one of the lucky person to get away from lots of things, but he might not be very lucky enough today then, Nick.
Yeah, that could be a luck that could run out, and it seems that raindrops
he's going up against William.
Have been reported at turn number 8 here. Coming into this could affect the overall pacing of some of these drivers here. Halfway through, almost halfway through, this could be a signifier of foreshadowing, so to speak, of what is to come. Already from the super sporting and rookie classes, there is much to be expected, and yet again we do see that these drivers are driving as they are out of their mind.
Look at
here,
this.
Matthews.
Look at this. Oh, unfortunately took it a little bit wider there. So they're coming into turn number 9, and Alistair Young is still leading this race with Nakib Nur Aslan on P2. These two are pretty much settled. I'm not sure if Nakib wants to push it even further or not, but I'm very sure there's going to be a close rivalry between both of them inside, although they are on the same team. But man, they are really dominating this race there, Nick. And looking at the back, it is going to be Michel Chia coming in as well. So Michel Chia right now got himself in the podium position. But remember there, Nick, he's not that safe because Eddie Liu and Putra Adam are coming in at a supersonic speed.
Yeah, and that's going to be a case for them to actually improve their pacing. Michel Chia has shown that he was able to climb from position number 6 and number 5, if I'm not mistaken, and is maintaining that podium spot of 3rd. And I do think that with that, to be noted for those at home, Michel Chia already has, as we have said beforehand, been in the racing industry, or is the motorsports industry, since his karting days at 11 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So for Michel Chia, it's all a matter of getting that championship that so eludes him in the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival, and we do hope him the best. However, standing in his way, well, he's driving in his way, is Nakib Aslan as well as Alistair Young, who have been levying their lead to tremendous effect.
Yep, not a bright start for the man that everyone fears. It's none other than Tengku Zhan Lee. And right now he is basically in P9 at this moment, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Yes, the young ones are pretty much dominating, as what Nick told me earlier. Maybe it's time for the young ones to shine, and they are really shining so far. As we can see, the Axel duos are still in the front, and right behind is the man that is literally carrying a little bit pride from Tengku Zhan, being in his teammate as well in P3, and P4 and P5 is another duo there, and it's none other than Eddie Liu and also Putra Adam from Laser Motor Racing, Danik.
Yeah, and I think that for a lot of these drivers here, at least for positions 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5, excuse me, with Axel Sports as well as Laser Motor Racing, holding those positions actually gives them the benefit of just showing that the team consistently holds on towards those positions. And if there is a team effort here, is definitely going to be on the Axel Sports side here, with 3 entries of vehicles in play, and of course with Laser Motor Racing not too far behind. But the only standout here has got to be Mitchell Chia from Prima Pearl TD Racing. So from positions 1 to 5, there are 2 duos each in positions 1 and 2, and 4 and 5, excuse me, while third belongs to Mitchell Chia from Prima Pearl TD Racing.
You know what impresses me so much? It is Alistair and also Nakib. They came from a really, really good background actually. You know, Alistair inspired by his own dad, Alex Young, and Nakib Aslan. The Aslan brothers, they have been doing so good, not only on the track but also on the simulation racing. And they have been putting on really, really good numbers. And here they are proving themselves how good they can be in the first race there, Nick. So pretty much with 8 laps to go, the Axel Sports team is still leading this race. And that's pretty much of a surprise there, because I kind of knew maybe Michel Chia or the rest of the other racers might give a little bit of a problem for them. But it seems like these guys are on a different level of speed, Nick.
Yeah, it's different levels of speed indeed. We don't see any more raindrops here or any changes of weather thus far, despite reported reports of raindrops being detected in turn number 8, if I'm not mistaken, or turn number 9. So this could be a case. And also you can see in the mini window there some members of Axel Sports watching very closely.
Yeah, pretty
If
proud.
I'm not mistaken, that's Alex Young there, very intently watching, as he is very much invested in
he's coaching to win, man.
invested in the performance of Alistair Young, as well as Nakib and Hayden Haikal.
Yeah, he's definitely coaching a win over here between Alistair and also Nakib. But at the moment, Michel Chia looks to be the only one in between both teams, of course. One is from Laser Motor Racing, right at the back. In the front, it's going to be the Axel Sports. So will we see this one-man Michel Chia is able to do something spectacular, as he's coming a little bit closer to find Nakib Aslan. But then let's having a look from this angle. It seems like pretty far there, Nick. These two are just keeping a very good momentum, keeping up the same pace between each other. And Michel Chia is the one that is trying to cause a little bit of a problem, but he needs to do a little bit more with 7 laps to go.
With 7 laps to go, so much more has to be done by some in the middle of the pack here if they want to improve their positioning, as well as score better, as well as score better points here. Improving their positioning. Iman Danesh here, another new entry in the rookie class in vehicle 80. But I do think that there was a few raindrops there.
Yeah,
and
really?
this could actually, if I'm not mistaken, I did see on camera
watching
there,
this on 4K, innit?
some raindrops could actually signify that if not for this race, maybe the races that are going to come later on could prove to be rather detrimental to some of the drivers here that are not as experienced with driving under conditions, wet conditions, excuse me.
Absolutely. Alson Liu, as we were talking about earlier on, so it seems like Iman Danish is in P1 and P2 is going to go for Alson Liu, where we put all the bets on him earlier on during the qualifying. He also has a vast good of experience coming from simulation racing, and here we go on the actual track as well. So this kid is pretty promising on the rookie class, and let's see how far he's able to go with another 6 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 as we are underway for Super Sporting and rookie class race number 1, and we're on board with this boy who is on the 2nd position on his own respective class, which is the rookie class, Alson Liu.
Alson Liu showing his mettle here. Vehicle number 77 coming out. We're going to be seeing here another one for Alistair Young, still holding on to his top position here, but it seems that the positioning isn't going to be as far as we first expected it to be, as Michel Chia and Eddie Liu are starting to match his pace here, but it's all a matter of whether or not they'll be able to get it. Oh, we do see here.
I mean, looking at how things have been going, Michel Chia's coming with lots of vengeance behind him, man. I mean, Mark Darwin is not in the race, not in this season, of course, but previous season, he was one of the men that caused major problem for Michel Chia. And I'm very sure Michel Chia right now taking all in himself himself in here, and he's trying to put the pressure all on Nakib Aslan and also Alistair Young as he comes straight into turn number 1. This is going to be pretty intense. Michel Chia somehow got in the back behind of Nakib Aslan. This first turn is going to be pretty dramatic, and Alistair Young will be keeping a very close eye on what's going on at the back. As we can see right now, Michel Chia tries to go and dive it on the inside, but it's well blocked by Nakib Aslan. There's going to be a little bit of a bump, but still, is that enough for Michel Chia to overtake? But nope, Nakib Aslan shuts the door again.
Shuts the door, slammed it onto Michel Chia. Michel Chia definitely not showing any half measures here, taking the full measures to try and attempt his way or force his way into that opening. But luckily enough, Nakib Aslan still maintained composure, showed up and just closed the door on Michel Chia's hopes for now. 5 more laps to go. This could be at least one more talking point for someone like Michel Chia that is already on podium. Does he try to improve his position and may actually risk him getting into a collision, or does he just maintain that position because he has been on the receiving end of very, very close decisions where he's coming in? Oh, but wait, could this be another opportunity for him to close out onto Nakib Aslan? Nakib Aslan still not interested in giving him any way here for him to catch up.
Yeah, another 5 more laps to go. It seems like Axel Sport is right now with a problem, and their problem is none other than Michel Chia from Prima Pearl. So this is the only team that is giving a problem for Axel Sport, who thought they were dominating this race, but with 4 more laps to go, it seems like Michel Chia is giving a lot of headache for Nakib Aslan. He's trying to dive it on the inside again, but it looks like the same old move, well blocked again, and we can see Michel Chia trying to push him off a little bit, but not trying to, you know, spin him off over here. And again, Nakib Aslan seems like he has done his homework to shut him again, Nick.
Yeah, that's going to be the case here for Michel Chia. Michel Chia still trying his level best to just keep at it. We are going to be watching this battle for second very, very closely here, as we do see that it is going to be very, very, very action-packed indeed. Another track limit warning being issued towards vehicle number 51, Azril Azhar, making sure that they stay within track limits here. Could actually be penalized if that track limit warning was not heeded by Azril Azhar. So this could be the case here, as we do see that our another track limit warning.
Yep, car number 51 seems like having a track limit warning, but now here we go again onto the Kuala Lumpur straight. As we can still see, the man that is causing problems is none other than Prima Pearl's Michel Chia, and right in front of him is going to be Axel Sport Nakib Aslan, where we see Alistair Young might not be participating in this battle, but he will be having a very, very close look. This might be a chance for Michel Chia, where he tries to go from the inside as early as he can.
Oh my goodness.
And he's giving a little bit of a bump on the left over here, but let's see if he's able to do it. And yes, he does. Michel Chia takes speed 2, and now I tell you, Axel Sports is in trouble.
Axel Sports could be in trouble here. Alistair Young is going to be the next man in the sidelines of Michel Chia. Michel Chia showing every opportunity, taking every opportunity to be able to close in on that second position that he so much covets. And we do see that amongst all of it, Alistair Young, the final piece of resistance here that Michel Chia has to overcome in 3 more laps. With 3 more laps to go, roughly about 5 minutes at the pace that they're going, could this be enough time? Could this be enough distance for them? With about 2,700, 2,000 plus meters here, it's about 10,000 meters left here for him to cover. Will those meters be enough for him to close the distance between himself and Alistair Young, coming out from that long straight, the long Kuala Lumpur straight, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes,
right?
it is the Kuala Lumpur straight. So talking about Kuala Lumpur straight, we can still see right now Michel Chia has a very good pace to give problems for Alistair Young, and Alistair Young might be a little bit under pressure now. And let's see what are the moves from Michel Chia this time. Is he going to dive in from the inside or no? This time we see an early shutdown by Alistair Young. It's preventing him from getting into the corners, of course, as we are coming into turn number 2. There's not going to be much of a problem, but Nakib Aslan tries to catch it up from the back, but still, Michel Chia is still holding on to this lead as he is still in P2, giving lots of pressure for Alistair Young. As we know, remember that Michel Chia, Mark Darwin is nowhere in this race, so you're all free to go. It's yours to take, it's yours to battle. But here we go for another move, and maybe not. Maybe not. It's coming closer and closer. He's on the inside, but then Alistair Young is under pressure. He got out a little bit over there. And as they're coming into turn number 5, this is a three-way battle. Axel Sports versus none other than Prima Pearls. And how about this? Still looking into P2, it's none other than Michel Chia as they're coming into turn number 7. And what's going to be happening over here? Nakib Aslan trying to take a little bit of an advantage. And there you go. He took the advantage. Nakib Aslan shifted on the other side. And how about for this? This is an ultimate duel there, Nick. You're witnessing history right in front of your eyes.
Beautifully done there. Tire to tire between 3 different vehicles, all of them going head to head. And it was amazing with Nakib Aslan taking that hair thin margin to be able to just slingshot himself forward in front of Michel Chia. Young. Oh my goodness, could this be another opportunity? No. Michel Chia almost loses it out. Oh, he comes out. Oh, this could be very bad for him. Alistair Young now is trying to close the door. He's coming in on the inside again. Michel Chia still maintaining it. Alistair Young showing his experience there. Maintaining control. Almost lost it, but Michel Chia still maintaining it. Nerves of steel from the younger ones here.
Yeah, I can always tell you that, man. Michel Chia right now is having a little bit of a glimpse from the man from the previous race, the previous season. Mark Darwin was also the one that caused him lots of problem. But now we might be seeing a little bit of a move, but not yet. Not yet. He's putting all in here onto the turn number 5 as they're coming closer. Michel Chia has the chance right now.
Again,
can this be the moment? And there you go. Maybe not, maybe now, but no. It's still being closed there by Nakib Aslan. And Michel Chia is still holding on to this speed. He's trying, might got this into it, and maybe now. And yes, he does. Michel Chia and P1, the ultimate duels are spinning. No. They're still keeping in contact there over here. But man, Michel Chia is doing it all him by himself. This is the last lap. This is the moment for him. And how did he do this? No one knows. He won this race, Danek.
Michel Chia, the biggest winner of this race. Super Sporting and Rookie class shows action-packed, non-stop. We wanted to cover more on the other races, but the battle for position 1, 2, and 3 was back-to-back. It was a gestalt of action, non-stop, from start to finish. From flag off to checkered flag. It seems that Michel Chia is definitely going to bring huge win for Prima Pearl TD Racing. And man, oh man, Nakib Aslan and Alistair Young will definitely have to review the tapes here, but we cannot take away the potential of both Alistair Young and Nakib Aslan, both of them almost losing control at least at 3 separate occasions, and were able to get back into it. Alistair Young showing his mettle, showing his ability to control and maintain composure. Nakib Aslan as well, making sure that his teammate not only was able to get out of there safe and sound, but giving him enough space for him to get back control while not losing position. This is just insane, moving in from what is happening in the Super Sporting and Rookie classes here. And this is just our first race of the season, Matthews. I don't know about you, but all bets are off. This could be anybody's race, and Michel Chia is looking to be the man of the hour. Look at that here. This is the replay.
I can't really say it's anyone's race. I can tell you it's Michel Chia's race, and we're living on this. What a move from him, man. The ultimate duos thought they were controlling this. They were dominating this race, but no, he took it personally. I can really tell you, Michel Chia took this really personally from the previous season. We know what happened. He was really sad. He was wrecked last season, but this season he's showing he is still the man that everyone needs to watch out for. And we are watching this right now, Nick, and this is history.
This is definitely history here. Michel Chia has come very close to winning that top spot, and it seems that this year, for this season, it is going to be no more half measures for Michel Chia as rain, precipitation is starting to fall onto the track. It is going to come into consideration the grip as well as the power of, the ability of these drivers to maintain control. But man, was it impressive. Though Alistair Young did not finish in the position that he desired, all hats off towards Alistair Young's capability of maintaining control. Let's take a look at the official results here for our podium finish. It's going to be Mitchell Chia in position number 1, Nikib Nur Azlan position number 2, with Alistair Young in position number 3. 4, 5, and 6 respectively belongs to Eddie Liu, Putra Adam, William Ho, Hayden Haikal, Teku Janle, Aaron Lim make up position 7, 8, and 9. Position 10, Rahul Mayer. And on towards the next half of the races, we are going to be covering some of the rookie classes as well. Let us take a look at it as they pop up on the screen. Iman Danish, Elson Liu, Nazmir Azlan, Yazid Razak, Arif Azmi, and Azril Azhar, with Iman Danish, Elson Liu, and Nazmir Azlan holding podium finishes here at the end of race number 1. Season 6, what a way to start it. Let's take a look at the highlights here, Matthews, and break it down for us.
Yeah, well, so there you go. This is the highlights of what happened earlier on, full of drama, but a huge domination, 70% domination throughout the track coming from Axel Sports team, of course. But here you go. We saw this man coming out, that is Brandon Paul, and it seems like that was another bad luck coming into another season as well. I'm not sure what's with his luck. He really needs to talk to someone higher than the supernatural to actually, get things done for him, because it's just not going right for him every season. But never mind, this is the battle that I've been talking about. Michel Chia coming in all the way from the back. I tell you what, Nick, he really wished this race was the last race of the previous season. He would have been dreaming about this. But yeah, talking about dreaming, he's still dreaming of winning it, and now he got the first win. So maybe first for many to go, but what a fantastic race by Michel Chia. But you cannot let down about the ultimate duos. That's none other than Axel Sports duos, Alistair Young, and also Nake. Both of them were doing so many things there to keep this man off, but it was just not enough, because this guy took it all personal. He put it all on the track. He done his homeworks, and now he is crowned as the winner for race number 1. But this is going to be a long marathon there, Nick. It is not about things getting over right now. It's not over yet, but I can tell you, this is the start for many great things to happen in Season 6.
The piloting ability of all of our drivers here are definitely going to be highlighted in the highlights that you are seeing on display. But the biggest winner, Mitchell Chia, haunted by the 5-point margin of first place eluding him, seems to be motivating a man possessed at getting the most coveted prize of them all, which is the first place position in the podium. We do see that for driver 61, Putra Adam has to report to race control for the contact that he had against turn 1
but look at this
and turn 6. But this was just amazing. Looking at all these 3
how did he control
drivers,
the situation?
All these 3 drivers there, almost tire to tire in terms of where they were, and they were just coming in at
This
such a
comes from
high
experience,
speed.
man. This comes from deadly experience from Michel Chia from the previous season. Man, he was pushed, he was knocked, he was wrestled, he was punched everywhere, left, right, and center. But this time, he dodged everything like the Matrix movie, man. I can tell you, this guy has something special, and the special is going to start from today onwards. But there you go. We almost saw Nakib losing his position from there, but they took it really well. They controlled it really well, and they got into the podium position as well. But what a race from this beast, Michel Chia, the winner of race number 1 for Super Sporting, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's take a look at, we can't stop singing the praises for Mitchell Chia. Started out at maybe outside of the top 3, was able to climb maybe 4 to 3 positions towards position number 1. In terms of his resume, right? Season 4, Super Sporting Class 2nd overall. Season 5, Super Sporting Class 3rd overall. Young prodigy, for sure. Regarded as one of the top drivers of his generation. Started karting from the age of 11. And the fact that he hasn't been able to secure a TGR championship for himself despite being one of the more dynamic characters and individuals piloting the Vios, in the Vios challenge definitely shows that his motivation to win stems deeply from how close he has been to winning it all.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing absolutely well. So this is the start of many great things. We kind of had a lot of doubts what Season 6 is going to be, but it seems like Season 6 is the start of many action-packed things that's been happening, man. It's like the 80s movies again. So I can tell you, lots of things coming up. But before we go into all of the other things, we'll be having the main man right now on the cameras. Nas, my man, take it away, brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matthews Isaacs and Mr. Nick Harris as well. Wow, what a commentary, man. You can see history being made in front of your eyes. Wow, the commentary memang hebat lah. As you can see, what a race for race 1, round 1 right here for super sporting class and rookies as well. Taking a look at that very, very much of a struggle. In the last few laps, I think Axel Motorsports, Alistair and Nakib Azlan maintaining it all the way, but Mitchell Chia becoming the spoiler from 5th place. And of course, nicking it at the end, last 500 meters, what a race. So Mitchell Chia coming in at first, Alistair holding his composure at 3rd place, and meanwhile Nakib Azlan in 2nd place. So next up, we're going to go to sporting class in just a few moments, and I think it's time to highlight some of the younger drivers up here in the sporting class. Encik Mikael kita di sini, 23 Motorsports. Last season, he really caught my eye. These young drivers, Mikael, umur berapa sekarang?
Officially tahun ni 17, belum 18 lagi.
Itu dia. Officially dia cakap sebab bila saya baru jumpa dia 16. Kita macam tengah gosong mata. 16 tahun sporting class macam tak percaya je. Jadi pengalaman musim lepas boleh tak Mikael ulaskan sikit untuk kita?
So masa round lepas ataupun musim yang lepas, so far everything goes well lah. Kita dapat improve kitanya driving, kita dapat pace kita very good lah untuk tahun lepas lah. But this year kita may focus untuk more improve to be better than last year. So Alhamdulillah for the first round kita punya qualifying session, timing semua Alhamdulillah okay, ada improvement. So dari segi konsisten, lagi konsisten dari tahun lepas. So kita memang looking forward lah untuk race yang akan datang ni.
Wah, excellent. Diorang dah berlatih tune up the car. Macam mana dengan performance of your Gentra? Macam mana, puas hati ataupun tidak?
Alhamdulillah, so far so good. Tapi still ada lagi room untuk kita make improvement. So for this round ataupun for this race maybe dah cukup okay. Tapi for next race maybe kita akan improve lagi sikit.
Alright, daripada qualifying dah dapat tahu, okay, kereta dah sedap dah ni kan. Untuk sporting class kali ini, musim yang ke-6, untuk anda, siapakah lawan ketat yang harus diatasi?
Untuk saya cakap untuk dalam sporting ni, saya rasa Nabil lah.
Nabil, rookie champion kita musim lepas?
Ya, sebab buat masa ni kita nampak kita ada sama pace. So kita tengok end of the year macam mana. Harap kita dapat a great fight, a clean fight, tak ada gaduh-gaduh semua. So clean race lah so far.
Sportsmanship coming from a 17-year-old memang sangat orang kata teruja lah hati saya kat sini. We have hope for our grassroots motorsports. Tapi kita dengar apa tu Abang Mikael kita cerita-cerita ni kan. Saya pun terfikir mungkin cerita sikit kepada peminat-peminat kat luar sana. Macam mana anda mula menggerakkan diri dalam arena motorsports ni?
Saya gerakkan arena motorsport ni sebab ayah saya yang train saya. Dia ajar saya dari kecil. So start go-kart macam usual 8 tahun start. So 8 tahun. So memang ayah saya yang didik saya, dia yang jadi mentor saya, dia yang jadi coach saya. So saya punya position sekarang ni sebabkan dia juga. So saya memang nak terima kasih kat dia. Dan sebab family yang support. So without family support tak akan strong saya sekarang macam ni.
Wah, great stuff, great stuff. Jadi yang kita lihat kat sini kan, kebanyakan grassroots motorsports drivers kita ada yang mula go-kart, kan? Ada yang mula dengan simulation racing. Jadi macam mana dengan Mikael?
Saya mula masa kecil go-kart dan masa 13 years old saya start simulator je, ayah train. So semua dia train dua-dua.
Dua-dua sekali?
Yes, dia untuk jadi kita ready untuk dua-dua side. Untuk dia nak jadi kita ni bagus in dua-dua way lah.
Jadi apa tu development dia secara menyeluruh lah macam tu lah. Jadi kalau saya nak tanya antara go-karting dan juga simulation racing, mana satu yang lebih memberikan anda perangsang ataupun semangat dan juga pengalaman?
I say go-kart lah because real life. Benda tu awak buat betul-betul depan mata awak kawal, benda tu real lah. So in simulator macam kita tahu kita boleh buat laju tapi it's game. Macam tu lah in my opinion lah. So saya lagi fokus go-kart lah. Tapi in racing car, simulator teach me a lot.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okey, apa kita dapat lihat untuk prestasi yang muda-muda ni kan? Kebanyakan simulator racers ni, prestasi mereka jauh lebih hebat. Awak dah nampak Super Sporting kan? Alistair dan juga Nakib Azlan ni, mereka hidup dengan simulation racing. Jadi, pendapat anda macam mana?
Betul, saya setuju. Kalau nak improvekan dalam driving, memang simulator is one of the best choice. Even diri saya pun, saya masih lagi menggunakan simulator untuk improve saya driving. Kat track and everywhere lah. Setup, so far.
Nak tambahkan driving hours tu kan, sangat-sangat penting, okey? Jadi, untuk musim yang ke-6 ini ya, round yang pertama, baru round pertama, ada 3 round keseluruhan. Jadi, apakah sasaran Mikael penghujung musim ini?
Of course, win the championship lah. Target lah, that's my target lah. Hopefully, insyaAllah kalau Allah memudahkan, insyaAllah kita dapat achieve benda tu.
Semangat anak muda kita memang tak kunjung kalah. And looking at the weather sekarang ni, tiba-tiba daripada dry race, nampak tu hujan dah renyai-renyai. It's gonna be a wet race. Are you prepared?
So far, benda yang racing macam ni semua kita dah prepare lah. Kita tak risau sangat lah. In racing everything can happen. So we see lah how the race go.
Lama, kalau saya masa 17 tahun cool and confident macam ni, cakap lo, memang the sky is the limit. Jadi Mikael, saya nak ucapkan yang terbaik untuk anda. 17 years old, janggut pun tak keluar lagi, suara dia pun tak pecah lagi ni. Itu dia. Thank you very much. Jadi sekarang ini kita nak tengok keadaan di pit area kita. Mari kita lihat ya. Kalau kita lihat, okey, kita adjust iris kita sikit sebab kita nak ubah cahaya kita. Kalau kita dapat lihat, wow, tadi betul-betul pancaran matahari tu panas. Tapi sekarang ni semakin mendung dan saya dapat rasa ada hujan renyai sikit. Itu sangat-sangat penting race management kita di sini ya. Jadi kalau kita dapat tengok di pits, adakah mereka sedang menyediakan diri dan jentera-jentera mereka untuk race yang basah? Mari kita saksikan. Jadi di sini juga spotting untuk Encik Muhammad Syamsuddin dan juga Haziq Zairul O di sini. Nak tanya kepada abang-abang pit crew kita kat sini. Nampak tak? Assalamualaikum bang. Boleh kita tanya tak? Tanya. Alamak. Dia bergaduh. Chip. Tak. Bukan tanya pasal mesin. Nak tanya pasal cuaca. Boleh? Alamak, dia malu. Jangan malu bang. Jangan malu. Sempoi aja bang. Tak nak tanya driver, nak tanya abang sebab misai abang macam galak. Inilah ada misai galak. Nama abang siapa?
Nama
Dia dah lupa nama dia.
Nama Abdul Rahman.
Encik Abdul Rahman, betul chief engineer kat sini ya?
Tak ada, biasa-biasa je.
Malu-malu abang galak itu. Dia kat belakang tu dah jigit-jigit dah tu. Okey, kalau kita nampak cuaca tiba-tiba dah berubah ni Encik Ahmad Jadi apakah strategi untuk tim anda?
Strategi macam biasa lah.
Macam biasa.
Mana boleh bagi tahu?
Macam tu. Tak apa. Lain-lain semua tengah tak tengok live streaming ni. Bolehlah cerita sikit. Tak boleh. Langsung.
Tak boleh langsung.
Itulah dia. Kita nak tunjukkan betapa sekretifnya tim-tim kita kat sini. Jadi macam mana dengan peluang driver anda untuk round 1 ni?
Adalah peluang okey lah.
Okey. Saya nampak yang muda-muda yang naik dengan simulator racing ni sangat-sangat hebat. Macam mana pendapat Encik Rahman?
Itu depend pada dia orang. Tengok macam mana driver. Driver kita pun hebat juga.
Cewa. Ini aku suka. Driver kita pun hebat juga. Jadi driver Encik Rahman ni?
Driver kita, dia dari rally driver. Kalau hujan tu tak ada problem lah.
Patutlah. Okey. So, Encik Syamsuddin, dia naik dengan rally dan tak salah saya, pengalamannya pun boleh tahan juga. Dahsyat dia.
Ya. Dia dari go-kart, rally.
Jadi sekarang ni, cari kita saksikan drivers kita berentap yang simulator racing, training simulator racing dan juga mereka yang dah training rally, go-kart dan juga on track lah juga. Antara dua tu, sebagai seorang pemain yang dah berpengalaman lah, Encik Rahman prefer yang mana satu?
Dia yang bawa sendiri tu lagi ni.
Ya?
Lagi lagi ada chances lah. Sebab saya pun dulu rally driver juga.
Itu yang kita nak dengar tu. Encik Rahman pun ada pengalaman juga. Okey, Encik Rahman, terima kasih banyak-banyak. Semoga berjaya untuk Encik Samsudin. Itulah dia drivers kita. Silakan tuan. Drivers kita datang dari pelbagai background. Kita ada rally drivers, kita ada go-karters. Engines are already revving. Dan nampaknya, semakin lebat renya-renyayan hujan kita di sini. Jadi macam mana? Are we going to have a wet race? It's going to be fun, no matter what it is. Next up is spotting class. This is round 1. And this is going to be race 1. Are you guys ready? This is Gazoo Racing. Dan kepada anda semua, mari kita lihat sikit. Depan sikit. Inilah cuaca kita sekarang ini. InsyaAllah satu hari nanti untuk mungkin round 2 atau round 3, kita akan menjemput anda semua datang ke sini. Ya. Okay, it's Nas Rahman signing off. Spotting class is about to start. It's over to you, casters. It's Gazoo Racing time.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 Madness. Yeah, you're alongside with me, Matthews Isaac, and also the man right next to me, it is none other than Victor Cass, as we bring you all the actions live here from Sepang International Circuit. Boy, I can tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Just now, me and Nick was commentating. This guy was dancing. This guy was literally vibrating left and right because of what was going on the track.
Dude, that race was insane. The fact that like Mitchell put all his chips on the table, just went in for the dive there. I was like, my jaw was on the floor the whole entirety of those last 5 laps. But I digress though. That's like, what a way to kind of start the season off, isn't it? Like an explosive 3-way battle there between the best of Axel Sports and the best here in the form of Mitchell Chia. I mean, wow, we couldn't ask for more, right?
We couldn't ask for more. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look on the highlights of our promotional class. So talking about promotional class there, Victor, siapakah nama-nama yang boleh dikatakan sinar di dalam qualifying tadi, Nick? Daripada Victor, sorry.
Ya, tentulah dua nama yang perlu diperhatikan adalah Zizan Raza dengan Ahirin. I mean, I'm so impressed by Ahirin because dia sudah macam berkembang sejak season yang lalu.
Okay.
She's already shown that she's getting the pace. Now she's literally fighting it up together with both Zizan and Shukri and is mixing up that top 3 for the promotional class. I can't wait. This might be a good chance for her to actually pick up her first win in this season.
Okay. So it seems like the one that has been left out many times is trying to make history here, Victor. So I can really tell you things have been going pretty much intense on the promotional class as well. So Irene in P2 on qualifying. Oh, that's impressive.
Indeed, it is.
Very impressive.
I mean, again, only the 3 of them, Zizan Raza, Ahirin dengan Syuki Yahya, mereka qualify dengan masa 1 minit 27 saat lebih. And everyone else is just 128, 129. So they're on a league on their own right now. It's very much a 3-way battle, I think, between these 3 celebrity drivers right now. I cannot wait to see how the start is going to go because this is going to be, if the last race is any indication, the promotion class has a lot to live up for.
Absolutely. Kalau kita lihat di dalam season yang lepas, kita tahu every season Zizan Raza is the one that is winning the race. Banyak drama yang kita lihat di dalam season lepas. So I can really tell you, maybe this season we might be seeing some other racers memberikan tekanan, pressure, or maybe a headache to Zizan lah, Nick.
I mean the pressure is all we want to see, right, for these guys. But nevertheless, though, track conditions are still very hot. 32 darjah lah suhu dia di atas lita dengan track temperature 37 darjah. So it's very hot out on track right now. It's starting to drizzle. So tadi
air tu nak cool down sikit lah.
Cool down a little bit. To be fair though, it's still partially cloudy. The drizzle is only slight, so I don't think it's going to have a massive effect on grip anyway. So for all intents and purposes, it's still going to be more or less a dry race here. But for the drivers here, it's definitely going to be a lot hotter under the collar this time around, not less due to the fact that it's warm on the track, but also this is going to be the first race of the season. They absolutely need to nail it right here and then.
Absolutely. So ini dia, kalau kita lihat lita yang kita akan gunakan adalah North Track yang mempunyai 9 seleko sepenuhnya, dan this is going to be very interesting to watch because every season racer yang sama juga kita lihat, tetapi ada juga nama-nama yang baru di dalam season ni, Victor.
Ya, betul. 5 celebrity driver yang baru akan temani 4 returning drivers untuk season ini. So plenty nama seperti Ahmad Izan Loy, Hefni Sahat, Iman Akil, Syafidu Afidlah dengan Noreen Ashikin. Mereka, they're going to be coming in. This is going to be the first time they're coming out here. This is going to be their rookie season. Want to see how they perform here, because so far, definitely most impressive here, Ezrin Loy. He managed to do a 128 here today, first time out. So he's already showing a lot of potential.
Okay lah, the new kid in the block menunjukkan bakat beliau lah kan, Ezrin Loy. Okay, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kita akan masuk di dalam race yang pertama di dalam promotional class. Tak lama lagi. Tetapi apa yang kita boleh lihat sejarah sedikit di dalam season lepas, kita lihat satu intense battle antara Zizan Razak dan juga Syukri Yahya. I'm not sure kalau ada penyokong-penyokong Syukri di dalam ruangan komen. Kalau ada tu, berilah komen-komen sikit. Nak tengok tim Syukri Yahya besar ke Zizan besar. Okay, I'm stirring up a rivalry. Tak apa. I'm very sure all of the respective racers yang ada dekat sini ni, you are a huge fan of each and every one of them. So ini dia, kita akan mulakan dengan grid by grid. Kita nak grid satu-satu orang. Ini dia Zizan Razak di dalam grid yang pertama, diikuti oleh Ahirin Ahiruddin di dalam grid yang kedua. Kalau kita lihat di dalam season yang lepas, she had a huge nightmare in the last race there, Victor.
Yeah, she did indeed, and
she punctured the tire, by the way.
One hopes that that luck,
yes,
Lady Luck will be on her side this time around, because she's gonna need every last bit of it, especially for the first race of the season. Now, it's interesting that you pointed out that Ziza was having a lot of wins, as of recent, but in totality, Syukri Yahya actually has a lot more wins, because if you notice, most of the wins, semua kemenangan yang Zizan Razak dapat hanya adalah di dalam track sini saja.
Yes.
Sepang off track saja yang Zizan Razak dapat menang. Tapi kalau you tengok Syukri Yahya, dia bukan saja menang di Sepang, dia juga menang di Batu Kawan, dia menang di Kuala Terengganu. Dia juga pakar di dalam pakai street track juga selain daripada circuit. So I think in terms of an all-rounder, I think Syukri Yahya definitely has it, compared to Zizan.
Oh, he definitely do. That's one of the reasons why I really like to see their rivalry between Syukri and also Zizan. So right now, are we going to see the same rivalry today? I am not sure, ladies and gentlemen. We might see a different storyline in Season 6. So let's kick in and see who is going to be winning this race. So in the meantime, if you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 as we are underway for our promotional class race number 1. As you can see, all of our celebrity racers are already on the track as they will be going into the race number 1. So another 3 more minutes. Dengan 3 minit saja, kita akan masuk ke dalam race yang pertama. Victor.
Ya, race yang pertama untuk promotional class. I mean, ini ialah permulaan untuk season 6 ini, and I
ingat cerita benda lain.
Ini
adalah siapa?
Yeah, just waiting on the start line as well is our race director himself, M. Ravin. He's right now making sure that all the drivers are in the correct grid positions. You can see them on the screen right now. I think what's going to be very interesting is the fact that Syukri Yahya sekarang dia di belakang Zizan Razak.
Yes.
Maksudnya bila kita start, dia akan ada tow daripada kereta Zizan Razak sendiri. So mungkin itu akan menjadi advantage untuk dia bila nak masuk turn 1. Tapi kita nak tengok macam mana dia nak tackle attack itu sebenarnya. Is he going to try to do it on the first lap? Is he going to maybe try to buy this time and wait for Zizan to make a mistake and then go for the hit? I don't know. It's really up to him right now. I will say the ball is definitely in Syukri Yahya's court right now.
Kalau ada penyokong-penyokong Jananik, make sure to give a little bit of a support on the comment as well. So, but one thing is here is that Jananik is not in the race.
I was going to say that, right?
Because I'm very sure a lot of them were asking, mana Jananik? Mana Jananik? Okay guys, Jananik is not in our race this season, but I can tell you a good news. Di sepanjang musim-musim lalu tu, she had a very, very bad race. Okay, she was spinning out, macam-macam berlaku. Tetapi that last race musim lepas tu, she had the cleanest race of all seasons, I can tell you, man. She has improved massively. Dia dah pakar dah. And now, maybe not now, bukan sekarang, maybe in the future, we might see her revving engines again over here.
Yeah, I hope to see Jan and Nick come back again. I mean, again, like what a way to kind of cap things off, right? Just leave still on a high, right? But nevertheless, though, with the current 9 celebrity drivers having 1 more minute to go, they're going to be raring to get this race started here, ladies and gentlemen. So, for those of you just joining in, this is our promotional class, race number 1, the first race of the season here for the TGR's promotional class, and I cannot wait here as and Ravin just constantly watching the clock right now to make sure we're going to be getting this race underway on time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if Zizan is going to be focusing on Shukri or Ahirin because, Ahirin right now is in P2 and she has challenged on the qualifying timings against Zizan. But Zizan has a very personal rivalry with the man right behind him, and that's none other than Shukri Yaya. In the previous seasons, both of them went bumper to bumper, and Zizan's bumper was coming off, and at some point he actually hit Shukri Yaya, and Shukri Yaya span off there, and Shukri was really mad because it cost him the race at that time. But this time the bumpers are not out, the bumpers are all clean. You're having a new car, new race, new season, new incidents maybe. And let's see what's going to be happening. So as we are going for a provisional lap over here, Victor.
Yeah, we are indeed. Now they're going to be going out on the formation lap, the final recce before going for the standing start here. So as it stands right now, I mean, of course, we're talking a lot about our top 3, which are our returning drivers in the promotion class, but I also want to highlight, our new drivers in this list here. It's about Ezrin Lloyd. He has definitely impressed us in qualifying right now. If he can keep up with the top 3 here, I think he might have a good chance of being the best of the rest. But he's going to be facing some pressure, no less due to Heavenly Sahat starting alongside him. And you also got Ayn Edrus, another returning driver. So definitely a driver that's going to be more experienced here in the form of Ayn Edrus. She's definitely going to try her very
Ayn
best
is racing
here.
for her daughter, man. Yeah, she always thinks about her daughter most of the time, and I mean, that's a very amazing thing because she puts the child first when it comes to so many things. We have seen in the previous races, of course, but this time we might be seeing these names like Ezrin Lloyd putting up a very good timing there, Victor. So I'm surprised to see a newcomer showing how it's done compared to the other racers who have been here for some time.
Yeah, but I think this is where experience is going to count because, drivers like Ayn Edrus, they understand how difficult it is when it comes to following these other cars close to each other. A lot of things can happen, especially on that first turn. You have to be very careful about where you place a car, how you're going to place it, and how exactly you're going to tackle the overtakes here. And sometimes, it may even be best to back off, and how we should back off or where you should push, that all comes down to experience.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going into our race number 1 very shortly as they are all coming back to their grid and waiting for the lights to pop out. And once the thing or the light goes green, it is race time there, Victor.
Yeah, Marshall flagging off it. Red lights go on. And we are off for the promotional class. Race number 1. 18 laps to win it. Zizan Razak taking a good start right now, going very defensively. But as we see, Ezrin might be looking to try to split the difference here between both Aridin as well as Shukri Yaya. But Shukri is pushing into the edge of the track. Meanwhile, they're going to try to maintain their line and to get to the first turn. Zizan Raza holds his line here. He is in the lead right now. Shukri Yaya falling very closely behind. Aridin had to take onto the inside there. Looks like she may have lost a couple of places as a result. She is trying to fight back though, but it seems like Ezrin Lloyd is making it very hard for her to actually find any space through turn 2.
Yeah, so Zizan Raza is still leading this race with 18 laps to go as they're coming into turn number 4. This turn then, Victor, they call it the Langkawi curve. Yes, it's called the Langkawi curve, and now they are coming down to Genting curve. So those of you who do not know the names, usually we indicate them with the number of the turns, but this time we're going to give a little bit on the information on each turns over here. But here we go. As they're coming into turn number 5, we can still see Zizan Raza leading the race, and right behind him is the old man again. It is none other than Shukriaya. I mean, we're going for a classic. This is the classic that we need. Shukriaya versus Zizan Raza. Man, it's a never-ending battle. No matter how many seasons come in and go, this is something that prevails.
This is some Dragon Ball Z stuff, isn't it? I mean, season after season, still these two guys battling heads against each other through the promotion class. But for now, Zizan Raza is the one in the lead as he comes across the line. Shukriaya in second place right now. Loy makes it up to third place while Ahirin drops down to 4th. That's going to be the first island of cars. The next group is going to be Imran Akil, who's actually made up a place here in order to come up 5th right now. Ayn Edrus is just behind him in 6th place. Heavenly Sahad still going to be looking to try to improve on his time here, but he's trying for now. 7th place. Ashikin is still in 8th, and Afifa is in 9th.
Yep, if you're having a look on the gap that between Azrin Loy and also Ahirin, it is 0.763. Seperti apa Victor memberitahu kita tadi, she might be facing a little bit of a problem because Azrin Loy is fast. Kalau kita lihat di dalam qualifying tadi, he has been super impressive. Tetapi bagaimana pula dengan race ini, kita nak tengok tak lama lagi. Tetapi ini dia, jentera nombor 91, Syaratul Afifa nampaknya mengalami sedikit masalah teknikal, and I'm not sure if that can be fixed and stuff. But here we go, the race leaders, the never-ending story. I can tell you this is better than Twilight. And here you go, it is Zizan Raza versus Shukriaya in the same position again, season in, season out. Last season, these two battled it so much until Shukriaya spun off the track there, Victor.
Yeah, I think the main thing that Shukriaya is going to try to do here is just keep the pressure. Keep calm on his end, but then make sure that Zizan Raza stays sweaty on his collar the whole time, making sure that Zizan keeps his one eye on the rearview mirror throughout this race here, and that's what Shukriaya needs in order to try to force him into an unforced error. So let's see whether or not Zizan will be able to keep it up. I mean, the thing is, this man has been driving in many seasons of TGR, so he's not going to be that easily swayed though. Nevertheless, there's a little bit of a gap there through turn 1, but Zizan is still making sure that his car is as wide as possible through these lines so that Shukri cannot find a gap to exploit.
Ya, kepada yang tanya kenapa kita ni emphasize terlalu lebih dengan Zizan dan juga Shukriaya, because the rivalry guys, the rivalry. Previous season, both of them were going head to toe. Bukan saja di dalam musim lepas, tetapi di dalam musim yang keempat, yang ketiga, these two has been dominating this race so much. Tetapi kalau kita lihat the previous season ataupun musim lepas, boleh dikatakan satu peristiwa yang agak bersejarah untuk Shukriaya sebab Zizan langgar Shukriaya. So sekarang ni Shukri will be thinking it is time for revenge. Tetapi secara a little clean lah, Victor. Not to be too dirty, not to do what Zizan did. He's trying to finish this race without having any sorts of bumpers coming out.
I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to crash out so heavily in race number 1. They cannot participate in tomorrow's race number 2. Because then you're going to lose even more points that way. So maybe patience might be a virtue here. But meantime, though, Azrin Loy facing a lot of pressure from behind because Ahiruddin is catching up to him rapidly here. So let's see whether or not they're going to be able to change position there. In the meantime, Zizan continuing to defend his lead here with 15 laps to go, still a long way, and Zizan knows it as well. So does Shukri. He's just biding his time. He just wants to find out when exactly does he want to attack.
Absolutely. Shukriaya sekarang ni tengah fikir tentang bumper tu. Last season the bumper was coming out for Zizan, but still Zizan able to finish the race. But this time Shukri is having a whole new car. Zizan also having a whole new car. But at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 as we are underway for our promotional class race number 1. Zizan Raza leading this race. It seems like the car number 9, Ayn Edrus, seems like out of the track, and now she's back in the track. And she's taking a little bit time to put the first gear, and here we go. But that's going to be causing her positions, and nampaknya that is going to be a little bit of a problem untuk Ayn Edrus. But never mind, she will come back stronger. Itulah kata-kata semangat yang kita boleh memberikan kepada pada pelumba kita. Tetapi talking about semangat, Victor, this is what I call you passion of a different dimension.
Yeah, Shukri is just constantly pounding his back there. I mean, again, it's all about the pressure. It's all about making sure that Zizan is constantly being pushed all the time throughout his entire race. And it's not easy to do that, really. It really is because Shukri has so much experience. I mean, again, Season 4 overall champion, so it's no slouch when it comes to these kind of things. That looks like an incident involving car number 9. So this Iron Edrus as well as Hefni Sahat. So was that contact that actually caused Iron Edrus to actually spin just now? I mean, we'll find out from race control in the future, I expect.
Yep, so in the meantime, kita sedang lihat di dalam race kita ni dengan 14 persikan saja yang baki sebenarnya. 14 laps to go. As we can still see, Zizan Raza is leading this race. On P2, it is Shukri Yaya. And in P3, it's going to be Azrin Loy. But I wonder what's going on at the back there. As we can see, Ahirin and also Azrin are having a little bit of a personal challenge there. But right now, can there be a moment for Shukri Yaya? But nope. It is still being shut down by Zizan Raza. I mean, Zizan knows Shukri's moves there, Victor. Yeah. So this is going to be a little bit of a problem. So Shukri Yaya kena cari satu titik kelemahan daripada Zizan Raza yang penuh berpengalaman.
So that's the thing. He has to set up the attack many corners in advance. I mean, practically from turn 4 already. If you remember what Mitchell Chia did early on, you know, he started attack at turn number 4, kept going alongside them through turns 5 and 6, and that's the thing that Shukri Yahya needs to try to do himself in order to try to get past Zizan. But the thing is, he needs to find good differential.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, though, Azrin Loy still maintaining his position ahead of Ahirin Ahiruddin. So far, you know, Ahirin has actually been able to set some pretty good speed trap times, really. Matches set 161 kilometers per hour earlier on, and just basically been trying to chase down Azrin, but still not able to find a way past him. Zizan Raza taking a little bit of a wider line, definitely feeling a little bit more defensive now about his position against Shukri Yahya, but nevertheless, still no chance yet for Shukri to make the pass.
Yep, so they're still having a look into the turn number 3 as they're heading into the Langkawi curve. And we can still see Shukri Yahya tries to, you know, give more pressure towards Zizan Raza. And right at the back, it's another close combat coming between Azrin Loy and also Ahirin Ahiruddin. And I can tell you about Ahirin, last season she punctured her tire. Tayar beliau pancit di dalam musim lepas. Disebabkan itu beliau drop position. She started really well. Her performance was so good di dalam race yang akhir di dalam musim lepas. Tetapi di dalam musim ini, it looks like she is up and running. And right now, she set a very good timing di dalam qualifying. Dan sekarang beliau berada di P keempat dan mengejar Azrin Loy yang kini berada di dalam P ketiga.
Oh, that's a bit wide there from Azrin Loy coming into turn 7 and 8, but seems like he's able to recover it just in time, putting himself ahead of Ahirin before he's able to make the pass. So it's still safe for now, but Ahirin is still biding her time as well. But the gap, unfortunately, has gotten a little bit wide now coming to the Kuala Lumpur straight, so I don't think she'll be able to get the toe. In the meantime, it's toes for days there for Shukri Yahya as he goes a little bit on the wide side. I think Zizan actually dove in a little bit early there to make sure that he covers the inside, preventing Shukri from trying to make a pass there. But you can tell that, you know, the pressure is starting to get to Zizan here now. I mean, he's already going for very defensive lines. Absolutely. And the trouble is when you maneuver like that, you tend to lose time.
Ya, walaupun kalau kita lihat apa Victor mengatakan secara all the data that we collected from the previous season, it seems like Shukri Yahya yang mempunyai lebih kemenangan berbandingkan dengan Zizan Raza. Tetapi Zizan Raza mempunyai pengalaman yang lebih luas daripada Shukri Yahya. Tetapi at this moment kita tunggu dan lihat bagaimana beliau cuba untuk menafikan gerakan-gerakan daripada Shukri Yahya, dan Shukri Yahya masih mengejar dengan 12 lap saja yang berbaki di dalam race yang pertama Promotional Class Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6.
Yeah, 12 laps to go is still a long way to go, but Zizan is starting to open up a bit more of a gap now between him and Shukri coming towards turn 7 and 8. So perhaps he's starting to pick up the pace a little bit now, or maybe Shukri faltering a little bit behind. I mean, remains to be seen, but so far I think Zizan is starting to relieve some of that pressure now that Shukri has been putting onto him. In fact, Lau, if we look at the gap, it's actually expanded now to 0.7 seconds. So it certainly looks like Shukri is starting to fall back a little bit. But in the meantime, Azrin Loy, now earlier on it was about 5 or 6 seconds. Oh, started to do IFIFA. Oh, heart goes out of her because she is unable to continue racing here. She had to retire 6 laps ago, and unfortunately, is not going to be able to rejoin the race.
Yep, dan nampaknya satu momen yang agak menyedihkan untuk Syahdatul Afifah sebab beliau baru saja masuk di dalam race ini. Season yang pertama untuk beliau dan it is a fresh new beginning untuk Syahdatul, tetapi nampaknya terpaksa retire from the race di dalam race yang pertama. Tapi sekarang ni memberikan fokus dengan satu perlawanan antara Zizan dan juga Syukri Yahya. Dan masa lagi kita lihat Zizan Razak berada di dalam P yang pertama diikuti oleh Syukri Yahya. Dan nampaknya ada gap di situ, Victor. Tetapi gap tu berapa lama nak ni to actually get a little closer to Zizan?
That's why right now Syukri Yahya, he has to find an extra 2 or 3 tenths, and that means that he has to kind of like, instead of pushing hard, just try to finesse his lines a little bit more, try to creep ever closer and closer to Syukri Yahya, especially on this main straight here, so they can benefit off of getting the toe. But it looks like he's starting to close the gap a little bit now. Look at that, it's just 3/10 of a second between the two of them across the line, so this could be exciting here for Syukri. He's starting to close up down to Zizan Razak. Is he going to try to make the move? It looks like he's almost thinking about it. He goes for it. He goes for the time. Zizan's not able to react in time though, and Syukri takes the line away from him even before they start into the turn.
Wah, Syukri kata surprise Zizan, dan itu dia nampaknya surprise. Surprise Syukri Yahya kata Zizan Razak. Dan nampaknya sekarang Zizan Razak mengambil alih P pertama sekali lagi. Nampaknya Zizan bagi trailer je dekat Syukri Yahya untuk merasai P pertama. Tetapi P pertama tu nampaknya it was not long lasting untuk Syukri Yahya lah, Nick. What happened there, Victor?
I think Syukri had a little bit of a Vietnam flashback. You remember the last time he tried to do something to this to Zizan? What happened? He didn't give the gap. He didn't give the gap going to turn number 2. Zizan came and slammed him on the side and took both of them out. So this time around, Syukri gave a little bit of room, but Zizan used that opportunity to get himself in front of Syukri Yahya before the end of turn number 2, and that's how the cookie rolls.
I mean, they have come a long way, Victor.
Yeah, indeed they have.
Throughout the learning process dengan langgaran dan juga pelbagai insiden yang berlaku di dalam sepanjang musim-musim yang lepas. Tetapi tuan-tuan dan puan, dengan 8 lap saja yang berbaki di dalam promotional class race yang pertama Toyota Gazoo Racing season yang ke-6, dan kita terus saja menuju ke selekok yang pertama, the turn number 1. Dan adakah kita akan lihat satu gerakan daripada Syukri Yahya ataupun tidak? Nampaknya jarak antara mereka ni agak jauh, tetapi sekarang nampaknya Syukri Yahya cuba untuk merapati Zizan Razak, tapi adakah cukup ataupun tidak di dalam selekok yang kedua? Dan mereka terus naik ke dalam selekok yang ketiga dan menuju ke Langkawi Curve yang berada di dalam selekok yang keempat sekarang ni, Victor.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was an opportunity there actually for Syukri to make the pass in turn 1. Maybe he might try to do in turn 3, but it doesn't look like the gap is favoring him at this part of the track though. So maybe he might try to wait for the next lap, just continue to keep the pressure going on Zizan Razak. But yeah, I think it's still going to be a while to go. We still have 9 more laps of racing here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's still plenty of time for Syukri to line the shot up.
I can tell you, Ahirin is not having a good moment with Asrin Loy, because kita tahu Ahirin is definitely looking forward to get the podium position. Tetapi the new boy on the new block is right now trying to stop her from getting into the podium position, and that is none other than Asrin Loy, who is keeping up and denying the efforts from Ahirin. But let's see if Ahirin is able to do something about this. She's an aggressive driver. She has trained absolutely well. She has good coaches right around here. But right now, wow, this is going to be impacting into the turn number 1. But the gap between Asrin Loy and also Ahirin is kind of massive there, Victor.
It's still, it's gotten a little bit more actually coming this lap. And Zizan, I mean, again, very defensive going to turn number 1. He does not want a repeat of that last attack that Syukri Yahya did on him. So he's just constantly hugging that racing line, hugging the inside line, just keeping, leaving no gap, leaving no room to exploit here from Syukri Yahya's side.
Yeah, I can really tell you, Zizan's like, playing mind games over here. Definitely memberitahu sedikit dengan Syukri Yahya. If you try anything fancy, ingat musim lepas tu ingat musim lepas apa jadi. So I'm very sure Syukri Yahya carries a little bit of fear untuk berada di belakang Zizan dan juga kadang-kadang untuk melakukan movement untuk memintas. Tetapi sekarang ni, adakah kita akan lihat sesuatu yang istimewa antara Ezrin Loy dan juga Ahirin? Nampaknya gap tu masih lagi kekal dengan agak jauh sebenarnya antara dua-dua jentera ni. Dan mereka mempunyai 0.900 gap antara masing-masing. But at this moment, we have another 8 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, in our Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 Promotional Class, race number 1.
Yeah, the kind of sad part about Ahirin's situation right now is that, the longer she stays behind Ezrin Loy, the further away Zizan and Shukri are getting away from them.
Yep.
I mean, the gap between Ezrin and Shukri earlier on is about 5 seconds. It went up to 7 seconds. Now it's like, wow, it's already so far away here that I think Ahirin is just losing time, basically, stuck behind Ezrin Loy. And oh boy, looking a little bit close there yet again. Zizan taking the defensive line over and over again. He does not want Shukri to overtake him at this place here, so I think Shukri is gonna have to start thinking about maybe finding some alternative routes, maybe try attacking him on another corner or something like that, because right now whatever he's doing doesn't seem that it's phasing out Zizan Razak at all.
Dah macam Shukri dah no other option dah. He needs to be a little bit more creative untuk mencari satu jalan untuk memintas Zizan Razak. Satu jalan tu bukanlah saya menggunakan jalan shortcut ke apa, satu jalan, satu idea yang kemungkinan boleh memintas Zizan dengan secara betul. But at this moment, kalau kita lihat, Zizan Razak masih lagi berada di dalam P yang pertama dan menafikan segala gerakan-gerakan daripada Syukri Yahya. There's no way through untuk Syukri Yahya memintas beliau dengan 7 lap saja yang berbaki. But let's see, dengan 7 lap yang berbaki, banyak boleh berlaku sebab kita lihat di dalam musim lepas, 1 lap dah cukup untuk macam-macam berlaku, tuan-tuan dan puan.
Yeah, I mean, 7 laps means there's 7 more chances for Shukri to try to make an attack, but where, when can the opportunity presents itself? I think that is up to Zizan Razak right now, and he's making sure that that opportunity stays as fleeting as possible here. But it may be a matter of time before Shukri finally goes for the dive. He's already setting it up right now. Zizan unfortunately has to take the outside. He wasn't able to react to this one in time. Now he's going to try to make sure he outbrakes him. Close the door in front of Shukri Yahya before you enter turn 1. So that's good so far. Zizan now has to defend going to turn 2. Looks like he has a position on the track to make sure that he keeps Shukri Yahya behind.
Dan satu movement yang agak berani daripada Syukri Yahya boleh dikatakan sebab beliau cuba untuk attack daripada inside line. Tapi apabila kita lihat exit daripada Zizan, dah menutup dah segala peluang untuk beliau berada di lampi yang pertama, and that shows he has been showing an absolute defensive position so well terhadap Syukri Yahya. He's like, berapa lama lah awak nak duduk belakang saya? So he's like, come on Syukri, try something new. But Syukri on the other side is trying to do something good. But remember, he's also having flashbacks of what happened before. So that might be a stop. But talking about stop, you know what's stopping Ahirin from getting P3? Ezrin Loy.
Door stop. I don't think that's going to be a nickname he'll be particularly happy with, but again, he's the one on the podium, not Ahirin, so might actually be working out for him quite well, in fact. But nevertheless, though, still coming down to the final turn here. It's Ezrin Loy, and looks like he's actually cleared away from Ahirin. Where's Ahirin at this point? Oh, she's so far behind. Is there a problem going on with her? Oh, she has a puncher. She's got a front left puncher, and this is terrible news here for Ahirin, because with 5 laps to go, Ahirin's going to be forced to take a dive into the pits, and my goodness, that's the end of her battle with Ezrin Loy.
Okay, kalau kita lihat flashback sedikit, musim lepas pun benda yang sama berlaku, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Ahirin started the race really well, tetapi tayar beliau pancit. Lepas dah kena pancit, beliau nampaknya terpaksa masuk ke dalam pit di dalam musim lepas dan had to have 1 or 2 laps ahead of the others. Tetapi di dalam race yang pertama, musim yang baru, musim yang ke-6, nampaknya sejarah tu masih lagi berulang untuk Ahirin. It was a good battle. It was good while it last. antara Ezrin Lloyd dan juga Ahirin. Tetapi itu dia, sayang 1000 kali sayang. It is just not a good day at the office for Ahirin Ahiruddin.
Oh man, it looks like it's terrible damage. Look ahead, the whole tire is taken off, and judging from the damage to the bodywork as well, I think she might have tried a move there against Ezrin Lloyd, gone into a bit of contact on the front left. And
Rim tu dah pecah lah.
yeah, it's completely broken. But let's see if they can. I think they should be able to get a new wheel on. Hopefully, Ahirin will be able to rejoin the race. But by the time she does come out of the pit, though, I mean, car number 9 is already through. So I think Einedrus is already ahead now.
Yep.
So is car number 8, which is Noreen Ashigin. So this is just such a terrible thing. So I mean, again, it's just so unfortunate. But again. It just underscores how dangerous it is sometimes to make these kind of like brave moves, because you never know if you just catch your exactly.
Yes.
If you catch them at the wrong angle, you just touch them in the wrong place, and your whole tire gets delaminated off of your rim. That's nothing much you can do. So Ahirin finally gets a new tire on. Looks like she is able to rejoin the race, but only comes out quite later on into the track here. So it's already being lapped, in fact, by our two race leaders, Zizan Raza as well, Maha Shukri. So she is just gone from bad to worse, unfortunately.
Yes, kepada fans Ahirin, I'm very sorry. It's not a good day in the office again, and hopefully anda memberikan kata-kata semangat di dalam social media, and hopefully she can come back stronger di dalam race yang kedua. Tetapi talking about race right now, ini dia race leaders kita, iaitu Zizan Razak dan juga Syukriyah, dan satu battle yang boleh dikatakan secara konsisten on through every musim ataupun every season that's been going very strong. So dengan 4 lap saja yang berbaki, kita masih lagi lihat position antara Zizan dan juga Syukriyah tidak tukar lagi. It's just not changing at all. And maybe now as they are coming into turn number 1, and this is the long straight ataupun lebih dikenali sebagai Kuala Lumpur Straight. So ini dia. Kita akan teruskan dengan 3 lap saja to go, dan kemungkinan we might be seeing Syukriyah giving a little bit of a surprise for Zizan Raza, unless again and again Victor, nampaknya Zizan dah tahu dah movement daripada Syukriyah. It's like, hey bro, I know your movement bro. You go left, I will come to you. You go right, I will definitely close the door again. But what else do you think Shukri can do about this situation, Victor?
Again, I would say try to attack him somewhere else, because it seems like Zizan is very well equipped to defend through turns 1 and 2. So try to catch him somewhere that he's not expecting. Maybe through turn 4. This seems like an opportunity here, as Shukri actually has a look on the inside. Oh boy, this could be good. Zizan Raza is going to have to outbreak him a little bit if he wants to stay ahead, but it looks like he has his elbows out here, and Zizan unfortunately has to take onto the curbing on the outside, so that slowed him down a bit. Syukriyah is going to try to be alongside him through turn 5. Does he have enough speed though? I don't think so, as Zizan continues to maintain his track position and keeps himself in front of Syukriyah.
I tell you man, Zizan Raza is a cheat code bro. He's an absolute cheat code. Keluar Lita pun still he can maintain his car really well, but I'm just kidding. He's just really well experienced, ladies and gentlemen. So that is what you get from a professional racer, especially Zizan Raza and also Syukriyah. I don't really consider them as celebrities because they race like an absolute base on the track. So here we go with 3 more laps to go. Zizan Raza, Syukriyah, who's going to be winning it? And right now we are down to 2 more laps to go. The position have not changed between Ziza and also Shukri, but maybe now he might be looking on the inside, but again Zizan masih lagi menutup ruang, dan kemungkinan Syukriyah might be getting around through here. Dan how about for the exit over here? Zizan sekali lagi menutup peluang untuk Syukriyah, dan still not going well for Syukriyah there, Victor. But I can tell you what changed over here is Ezrin Lloyd and also Imran Akhil.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a change here for sure. But I think as far as the status quo between our top 2 drivers here, it doesn't look too good for Shukri, because there's only 2 more laps and he's yet to find any cracks in Zizan Razak's defense right now. So it's looking like it's becoming mission impossible for him to be able to take the win, maybe. But nevertheless, Shukri is still going to try. He's already come so far.
Yes.
It will not make sense for him to kind of quit at this point.
You know what really surprises me so far, Victor? They're having a clean race.
For once, right?
Yeah, for once. Boleh dikatakan at least sekali lah kan. race ni sangat-sangat clean, tiada langgaran, tiada apa-apa insiden yang berlaku sebenarnya. Season lepas, it was really massive, ladies and gentlemen. It was a madness on the track antara Zizan dan juga Shukri. They really took it personal in the last race, of course. Tetapi kemungkinan Victor, they are just trying to warm it up in the first race, as they know these two are going to be leading throughout the entire season. But last lap to go, ladies and gentlemen, di dalam promotional race yang pertama Toyota Gazoo Racing season 6, dan Shukri Yaya might be going a little bit too wide, and that is going to cause his position over here. Especially when I'm talking about position, the position I'm talking about is the gap. So yeah, the gap is widening up between Shukri and also Zizan, and Zizan took an advantage of that going into turn number 4.
I think that's already the opportunity closed there. I don't know if Shukri is going to be able to find another opportunity like that again. And in fact, the gap's already kind of wide between him and Zizan going to turn 4, so I don't think it's very likely that Shukri will be able to make any last-minute moves unless Zizan makes a mistake somewhere around here, gives up some time, gives Shukri the opportunity, but opportunities have been coming and going so far for Shukri, and none of them has stick here. What is stuck so far? Zizan Raza in first place.
Yep, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kalau kita lihat ini adalah lap yang terakhir di dalam promotional class race yang pertama, dan tiada perbezaan antara dua-dua ni, iaitu Zizan dan Shukri Yaya. Dan nampaknya ada jentera 9 dan juga jentera nombor 66 kena report kepada race director. But here we go, the man that has been dominating the promotional class season in, season out. It is Zizan Raza winning race number 1. And followed up by Shukri Yaya in P2. And the new kid on the block, it is none other than Azrin Loy coming in on P3, followed up by Imran Akil based on the standings.
Yeah, Hefni Saha takes 5th place. Ayn Edrus manages to finish in 6th, but what could have been if it wasn't for that puncher though? But at least she finishes in front of Reen Rahim in 7th place, Ahirin Ahiruddin in 8th place, and Shaidatu Afifa unfortunately had to retire and takes 9th overall. So that's the first race done and dusted for the promotional class.
Yep, so kepada anda yang baru saja masuk ke dalam siaran langsung, ini adalah Toyota Gazoo Racing season yang ke-6. Kita baru saja habiskan race yang pertama di dalam promotional class. So ini dia our winner, iaitu Zizan Raza, but we are on board right now, which is none other than Ayn Edrus. I mean, talking about Ayn Edrus, I think she also spun out earlier, Victor.
Yeah, I mentioned it was puncher. Actually, she spun at turn 1 there in probably what was contact between her and Hefni Sahat. So that will be something they will sort out in the race control room later on. But nevertheless, still a respectable effort for our returning celebrity driver in the promotional class. So well done to her, but well done definitely to Zizan Razak, still maintaining his lead here in the Sabam North track. I mean, again, this guy has been winning so many of the recent races of the recent season, so it's no surprise to see that he still maintains his top spot here in the promotional class.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the man who just won the race, Zizan Raza. Again, a new season, a new win for this man. Nothing has changed, but what's going to be changing is coming up in the next races that will come up tomorrow and also throughout our entire season 6. So he's on to his pit, and what a race he had there, Victor, because from what I can tell you is it was a very clean race.
I mean, I was saying that Shukri was keeping the pressure up on Zizan, and at times it looks like he was starting to crumble a little bit under pressure, but he still held firm somehow. Even when Shukri had one opportunity and one moment where he was in front of Zizan, Zizan was still able to fight back, took him back in the next turn itself, and man, did it pay off greatly for Zizan. So that's the provisional results as it stands right now. Zizan Raza, the winner of race number 1 in round 1 here of season 6. Shukri Yaya taking 2nd place ahead of Ezrin Lloyd, the new kid on the block, impressing us in qualifying and impressing us once again in the race by taking a podium position.
Absolutely. So, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, adakah di dalam musim ini we will be seeing Ezrin Lloyd making a legacy in his first season, or are we going to see him being the problem for the rest of the other races? Because I can tell you, victim number 1 is Ahiruddin today.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Ahiruddin there. like love to know like kind of what exactly transpired that caused her to get the puncher. So that will, unfortunately, that will be something for race control to sort out later on. Let's go ahead and check out the highlights to see how this whole race is shaped up from the start. And you can see from the start itself, Zizan and Shuki actually had a faster start compared to Ahirin, and that I think kind of opened up the door for Ezrin Lloyd to just dive up in the middle. But then once things kind of settled in from that first lap and Shuki Yahya ended up behind Izan Raza, it pretty much was that sort of story for most of the race. For the most part, Shuki was constantly trying his very best to take dives in turn number 1 against Zizan, but Zizan expertly was able to defend time and time again. Then a bit of incident between car number 66 and 9 caused Ayn Edrus to spin out in turn 1. And then another battle that was forming was between these two drivers here, Izan Loy, who was in 3rd place, and Ahirin Ahiruddin, who was in 4th. And unfortunately, that ended in tears here for one of our drivers here, because she had to retire. Then this was the move that Shuki Yahya tried to do onto Zizan Raza, took the position away in turn 1, only for Zizan to fight back in turn 2, with Shuki Yahya giving them just a little bit of room, but a little bit too much there, and allowing Zizan to retake his track position.
Yep, so that is the highlights of our promotional class. A very promising promotional class, I can tell you. Because why? It's not because the storyline between these two, Zizan and also Shukuyaya, but what impresses me today is Ezrin Lloyd. What else this kid has? What else this man can do, cause problems for the others? Because we saw him, talking about problems, there you go. That is the problem number 1 that Ahirin had today until her rims came off. And look at the gap there, Victor.
Yeah.
Look at the gap. He's all alone at the back. And behind him, that's a huge gap as well.
And that's the thing, when you have two top drivers just constantly pushing each other in the lead, it just goes to show how big of a skill difference is there. You know, not just skill actually, but skill and experience between these two drivers is just immense, because they've been racing so many seasons, time and time again here in Sabam North track, and it really shows. Maybe this might be the season for Zizan to finally nail down his 2nd overall champion here in the promotional class, but that still remains to be seen. We still have 2 more rounds to go.
Yep, we still have 2 more rounds to go. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys are back with us, but what a race it was. I mean, we expected a lot of drama, but I can tell you it is slowly cooking up. And I really loved it how clean today it was. You know, that's not much of an incident, except for one punctured tire, and that is believed to be Ahirin. But the rest looks clean there.
Yeah, it's a very nice and clean race, but as it should be, because again, we'll be coming back tomorrow to continue race number 2, where the top 6 are going to get a reverse grid. So that's going to be exciting to see. Will Zizan Raza be able to climb his way back to take the 2nd race here this weekend? That's going to be something that you guys will definitely want to tune in for tomorrow here at the Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia Facebook page.
Yep, so if you guys want to know more updates on that, you can definitely go into our social media. You can go to Toyota Gazoo Racing, and all the information from the lap timing, the results, everything is there for you to find out. So you will definitely know what's going on. You won't feel lost like, Alice in Wonderland. So, yep, I can really tell you, this is getting started.
Yeah, things are getting started here. But I guess, though, I mean, again, first race of the season so far, and seeing that our new drivers, especially even in this celebrity class, have been impressing us already. Ezan Loy already, right off the bat, putting a good performance qualifying and showing him that he can already take the podium. So might he be one of the few drivers to get a win on the debut?
Ooh, I mean, that will be very, very amazing to add on his resume. Yeah, he will have all the bragging rights when he comes for the next season there, Victor.
And definitely between Shukri and Zizan, I bet they brag all the time about the skills they pull off on the track here, because these two guys have been like the mainstay. The rivalry between the two of them is legendary for the last few seasons here, and we're just going to see a continuation of that this season itself.
Yep.
So what do you think is going to be the twist maybe in the season?
I think I'm focusing more on the super sporting. Earlier on, if you guys were watching, you are consistently watching what's going on before the promotional class, of course, we saw lots of drama that happened in that race. I was I really wish that was the last race of the entire season. I really, really wish it. Because the moves that the racers pull over there, I can tell you, that comes with lots of bitterness, lots of anger, lots of, a will to win, the passion to not give up. Even though you were punched down before, now it's time for you to stand up. So that's why it's called the new season anyways. But yeah, that is why I kind of feel there's going to be lots of twists in the super sporting class. Also, talking about all the rest of it, even promotional class, we saw a new name like Asbrin Loy coming in and changing the game. So these are the kinds of topics that we're going to be focusing on this season, ladies and gentlemen. We got the new kid in the block. We got the ultimate duos trying to, win it all in the super sporting class. But now, for the sporting class, I just can't wait to find out what's going to be happening over there.
Yeah, I mean, again, when we talk about new blood, sporting class usually has a lot of new drivers every season. It's never usually the same lineup year after year, unlike like the super sporting or the promotional class. So that's going to be something very exciting, and that's definitely something you guys want to stay on here on the stream, because that's the next race that comes up after this. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But nevertheless, when we talk about this sporting class right now, of course, the long-time competitors like Bradley Benedict and Kenneth Cole are still continuing to find, to try to seek out, the performance that allows them to be upgraded to the super sporting class, but they still haven't quite found that yet. But then every single time, new blood that comes in always impresses. Abdul Mikhail right now for 23 Motors is certainly heads and shoulders above everyone else in qualifying. I want to see how he handles during the race, though.
Oh, yes. I mean, talking about handling, we are definitely here to witness it all. And not only us, guys, of course, you as well who are watching this from your homes. And that's the thing I can really, really tell about this season. Lots of dramas. Because all of this incident, Victor, is something that was built by Season 1. They come from Season 1. It started with a small crack. And right now, we have a huge tree. It's growing. It's huge. And yeah, so many things are possibility. I mean, the possibilities are very, very high for many dramas to happen. But talking about dramas, before we go into our sporting class, we want to find out what's happening in our sporting class. We already knew super sporting. We know the rivalry about promotional. We kind of know what's going on. But for sporting, that is what I really, really want to know. So talking about sporting, and if that is all great to know about what's coming up, but I can tell you something for now. We're not going to be finding out what's going to be happening in the sporting class. We're going to be finding out what Nas has to say from the main stage. So Nas, my man, take it away, brother. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, boys. Thank you for all that information and us watching here from the track. What a race from promotional class. The rivalry continues. Betul tak saya cakap? Betul tak saya cakap? Syukri Yahya dan Ziza Razak picked up where they left off from last season. Neck in neck. A difference between 0.3, 0.5 seconds. Dia potong di ni. So as what you can see here for promotional class, Syukri Yahya, Ziza Razak is still going to be the top dogs trying to vie for the promotional class championship. Tapi kalau kita lihat prestasi Ahirin Ahiruddin, begitu kesian. She came in 3rd overall last season. Kali ini running a great race. Dan Asbrin Loy, our newcomer, taking it 3rd place. Neck in neck dengan Ahirin Ahiruddin. Tapi Ahirin nasibnya tidak baik dan she had a punctured tire and she lost time over there. And so giving 3rd place to Asbrin Loy. So that's what we have for promotional class. InsyaAllah race day 2 nanti kita lihat bagaimana Ziza Razak dan Syukri Yahya akan cuba turn the situation around. Mungkin peluang untuk drivers baru kita that just join the TGR family to see what they're made of in the promotional class. Baiklah, sekarang ni kita nak ulas balik tentang the spectacular race that we saw in super sporting class. What a start for round 1 here in season 6. So saya sekarang berada bersama dengan drivers dari Prima Pearl Auto. Kita masih sedang mencari Mitchell Chia. Dia sekarang sedang memberi media conference. Maklumlah, champion, winner of first race. Tapi bersama kita adalah Tengku Janle who came in. Well, you started off in 10th place. Are you happy with your final positioning?
Well, at the end of the day, it's points. Early on in the championship, first race, I'm happy with it. So we're going to make changes tonight. We're down on power. But yeah, we'll make changes tonight, ready for race 2 tomorrow.
Okay, now that you've given us this bit of revelation, yeah, there was something wrong with your car. At first, what I thought was the Axel Motorsports boys are really playing a good race management game where you see two markers right in front, blocking Mitchell Chia all the way. And it was my thought that Hayden Haikal purposely didn't move forward to block you. So how true do you think that is?
No, I don't think so. But I think there's a lot of team effort that happens now in super sporting category. A lot of the teams have at least 2 or 3 cars, right, within a team. So it's all about strategy now. I mean, it's super tight. So the format of racing with the reverse grid for race 2, and it's about 0.8 of a second separating first to the last car within the category. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So the racing is super close, and you have to be clever on how you strategize your race because the race is 20 laps.
Absolutely, and you can see the difference, or the gulf in quality when you talk about sporting and super sporting, especially with race management. Yeah. So, what do you think of these Excel Motorsports boys? Are they a flash in the pan? And who are you looking out for?
Well, I mean, everyone within super sporting has the opportunity to win. This is still very early on in the championship. It depends, I think, after race 2 tomorrow to see who actually comes out with the most points in the weekend. So that should, basically determine how we move forward in the championship.
All right. So there's some chit chat on the ground saying that, of course, prior to the revelation of there's a power train problem, but a lot of people are saying maybe Tengku Janle has lost his touch. What's up with that?
No way. So we just came out from winning S1K or Sepang 1000 kilometers. First win for Toyota and Gazoo Racing. You know, I'm all fire. You know, ready to go. So again, we knew we had an issue, but it's important for me to collect points. So we came back 8th. We've got some points, but there's still one more race to go. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and if any driver out there who writes off Tengku Janle, you do so at your own peril. All right, thank you, sir, thank you very much. And now we are off to welcome Mr. Mitchell Chia, winner of round 1, race 1 here at season 6. Mitchell, all of us here watching on the ground, what an awesome race. Not often do we see that last 500 meters pipping it at the last lap. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel at this moment?
Very happy. Definitely very happy with the win, especially in the first race of the season. It's definitely a good head start for the team. And of course, I would like to thank the team, for all their efforts. They put in a super car, and of course, partnering with Jan, I couldn't ask for a better teammate. So, yeah.
Well, this time he was holding the rear, but this time the honor is all yours. Let's take a look at the thrills and spills. Of course, Alistair Young, Nakib Aslan, Axel Motorsports leading from the start, and you were starting from 5th place. What was going through your mind at the time, and what was your strategy as you started the race?
I had a decent start, making out 1 place at the beginning, and then it's a long race, 20 laps. These guys from Axel Motorsports, they've done a good job pulling away at the beginning. They were very quick, holding even the fastest lap of the race. But like I said, it's a long race, 20 laps, anything can happen. So I managed my pace throughout the entire 20 laps, and managed to catch them towards the end of the race, and had my chance to overtake them, and I did. So make full use of that, and took the win home. Yeah.
Well done, well done. Of course, once again, for those of us watching from the ground and watching you guys race, it does look like the Axel Motorsports boys were really ganging up on you at that time. Nakib was braking a little bit earlier to make sure he stalls you while Alistair takes that win forward. So when you saw that happening, what was going through your mind?
I knew that the moment when I start catching up to them, I had better pace, and I started to to analyze where and waiting for them to make the mistakes, and but they were very clean, good, super sporting drivers. So I just took my chance when I had it, especially down the straight, with all the slipstream, getting the extra speed, and then into making the overtake into turn 1. Yeah.
Well, some of us here were commenting if it wasn't Axel Motorsports, if it was another team, a little bit more of an experienced driver, they wouldn't be so nice. What do you think?
I think that fight that we had in the top 3 was already a very exciting and aggressive You know, I think if it was anyone else, I think it would have turned out the same way in terms of not being nice or being nice. You know, in the end, everyone left each other enough room and everyone stayed on track. So that's the most important part.
Well, Mitchell, very diplomatic man. Huh? All his answers very diplomatic one. Yeah. So, all right. Now that you run race 1 of round 1, has anything changed in terms of viewing the other teams? Is there anything you would change as far as strategy is concerned for Prima Pearl? Or already you've got a set strategy? It's going to be race 2. It's going to be reverse grid. You're just going to follow through with the plan.
I think, you know, especially like today I started on 5th place. So if it's like tomorrow it's going to be reverse grid, I'm going to be starting on 6. It's the same row. It's definitely going to be the same plan. Yeah.
Good stuff. I think these guys are experienced enough to already know what's plan A, what's plan B. And right now, we see wet weather for sporting class. I asked Tengku Jan, you know, if the rain came earlier, would he have a better chance? What do you think?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the Prince of Drift really loves wet weather. And Mitchell, once again, I have to congratulate you on the race.
Thank you.
It was really well run. Gentleman behavior on the road as well. So we're going to see you in race 2 tomorrow, bright and early, all right?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there you go. Champion of Super Sporting Class for round 1, race 1. So right here, the mood is all set, ladies and gentlemen. We've just settled promotional class as well. And I think in just a few moments, we're going to be cutting to the main stage. Kepada anda yang telah menyaksikan race after race after race kan. Selepas ini, Sporting Class. How will they be racing? What conditions will they be racing in? Mari sini, mari sini. Nampak tu? Hujan sudah turun. Semuanya basah di sini, but it's not a heavy rain. So also the marshals are on standby already, and I think many of the teams are already. What they're trying to do is trying to retrace their steps. They're trying to do their very best to manage their vehicles. That's very important right here. So what you can see, these are the finishing touches. And I see the drivers are already taking their places already. So it's going to be a wet round 1 for Sporting Class. Will they succeed? Well, we'll see how all our drivers will do. I'll be keeping an eye on the younger drivers as well. Nabil Aslan and Mr. Mikhail from 23 Motorsports. I'll be keeping my eyes on you. How about you guys out there? Who will you be supporting? It's time to race. This is Gazoo Racing. It's over to our casters. Guys, hopefully you guys do a good job. This is the last race this evening. Over to you.
What's up, champions? Welcome back to Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6. And you are back with us. My name is Matthew Isaac, and next to me is Victor Cass as we bring you all the actions that happens on the track. So, man, we have finished our Super Sporting and Rookie class. We are done with Promotional class. And what do we left right now? What's left?
Sporting?
Sporting, yes. Talking about sporting, it's going to be super sporting. Yeah, I mean, super sporting is a different class. I'm just adding the words to make it feel much more superior, you know? Yeah, because these boys, as what Victor said, you know, they are very promising. And let's see how they are going to be performing there, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting sporting class here because we've got lots of new drivers here joining in the mix. Nabil Aslan, one of the Aslan brothers here, who is now seeking to try to repeat the amazing sort of dominance that his elder brother has now joined us in the sporting class. Abdul Mikhail from 23 Motors as well has been making waves here in the qualifying, coming back in Season 6 as well. Is going to be Bradley Benedict and Ken Cole, and we're going to want to see what some of these new drivers here particularly will be able to do when it comes to this competition. Let's go ahead and have a look at the highlights right now for the qualifying that just happened early this morning.
Absolutely. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We saw the qualifying is pretty much done, but I did not get to see what really happened over here, Victor. What really happened over here?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you're seeing a kind of a battle to see who's going to be the first driver to be able to break into the top there. And what we saw is that the drivers have been consistently getting themselves up to 126.3 at first, then kind of shrunk down to 126.1 by Abdul Mikhail, and then Nabil Aslan came with the slam dunk getting a 125.9, and that solidified his spot on the top here in pole position, and he basically maintained it until the end of qualifying. So we're seeing like the times just shrinking so much between these drivers. Again, like the differences in gap between some of these drivers is basically a 10 of a second, 3/10 of a second. I think the first 5 or 6 drivers are all within a second of each other. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out in the race, because it does indicate that, you know, the competition is a lot closer this time around. Are we going to be seeing a lot of pack racing? Because sporting class is the largest class out of all the TGR races here. We've got 18 drivers competing in this one category alone. So that means it's 18 people on the track there that you potentially could bump into.
Oh, this is going to be very, very intense to watch. So let's see what they are able to show us today in the sporting class. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6. Make sure to like and also share our live stream. And hopefully we can get more people to watch what's going on Season 6. Because we know from Season 1, it has been intense and they have grown so much all the way to Season 6. And talking about what's growing here is the clouds and the weather.
It's raining, ladies and gentlemen. It is wet out on track right now. So this is going to be interesting because, again, the previous 2 races have been done under dry conditions. Now that we get to the sporting class, finally the heavens decide to open up and present us with a wet race right here today on Saturday.
Yep, the cameras are pretty much wet. You can see the water drops on it, and maybe over here you might not see it much, but I can tell you it is raining pretty heavily there, Victor.
Yeah, indeed. So again, still the same track, the North Loop on the circuit. 9 turns in total, 2,706 meters of pure action here in the Vios challenge. And now that it's all wet and slippery out there, that challenge has just increased tenfold maybe.
This is why I say it's super sporting.
super sporting.
Yes. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going into our race number 1 for sporting class. As we know, the races are pretty much up. I'm pretty sure they're scratching our heads. You know, hey, the other classes were, having a dry race. Why we need to go into a wet race? But, you can't question the referee on top of the clouds. So, yeah, he decides.
I mean, you're perfectly within your rights to try to send an appeal there, but whether or not he'll listen to you, that's kind of beside the point right now. But nevertheless, Axel Motorsports, again, demonstrating that they probably have something that a lot of these other teams don't, which is basically perfection when it comes to nailing down laps here on the North Loop circuit. So I'm very curious to see, very curious to find out really what exactly is this information or this knowledge that these Axel drivers seem to have that's allowing them to consistently place on top of the board here. I mean, again, Nabil Aslan, only driver in the sporting class here to hit a time under 126. Insane. So it's insane, the level of performance. I mean, again, he's incredibly young. Last season, he was a rookie. Now he is running with the big boys here in the sporting class. And no less, it's going to be a wet race as well. He's starting in the lead. I mean, there's a lot of variables here that can make things go wrong. But, with a talent as big as Aslan over here, maybe he just might have what it takes to take on challenges like this.
Yep, I can really tell you, Alex is cooking. Alex is cooking something in the kitchen that is really making these races, putting a very top performance, especially in his respective team, Axel Sports. So there you go. We're having on look on the grid where Nabil Aslan on the first position, followed by Abdul Mikhail. And at the back there, we saw Bradley. No, I think I got this wrong over here there, Victor. No, Bradley got P2, right?
Yeah, Bradley, he is in P3 actually, Bradley Benedict. We got Amirul Haikal, who's going to be in P4, and then Kenneth Kaur in P5, along with Ng Kai E. So that is kind of like the top 5 right now, and that's kind of place you want to be, because further back down the grid, there's a lot of traffic you have to get through before you can start to challenge these top 5 guys, and that's not where you want to be.
Absolutely. So I guess we have another less than 10 minutes to go, and final checkup on their cars, of course, making sure the engine's all good. The brakes are pretty much well. So the conditions are different right now compared to what they predicted earlier on. They all thought it was going to be a dry race, but this is one thing. You just cannot estimate, or you just cannot, confirm the weather in Sepang here. It changes in a blink of an eye. I'm not the only one who's saying this like a weather forecaster or something. It has also been said by actual F1 racers before.
I mean, if you watch F1 races, Sepang is always a kind of a flip of a coin, really. Is it going to be dry or is it going to be wet? Sometimes it can be a bit of both.
Yes.
So that's something that, these drivers just have to contend with. But, the good news, though, is that rain is always an equalizer in these kind of competitions. It means that everyone is going to be on the same footing. It's no longer going to be who has, like, the faster lap time. It's more about who has more control behind the wheel, who has more finesse, really, in order to try to maintain control of the car. And this is going to be something we want to see going into turn 1, is like who's going to be the one to be able to take that lead away. Is it going to be Nabil Aslan? Is it going to be Abdul Mikhail? I mean, both of them on the front row, they are definitely raring to be the first one through when it comes to turn 1.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, I guess it is pretty much done on the tracks. As we see, the crews and also the respective team members are all out of the track. So they are getting the indications from the race director on the top. And I believe it is going to be a start of the race very, very shortly.
Yeah, so Ravin right now making sure that everyone is in position here for the commencement of this round here. It's going to be the last race of the day. So if you guys are just only tuning in, you guys just came in just in time right now to witness some action here in the sporting class. But let's go ahead and run through some of the possibilities that might happen in this race, right? I mean, first things first, we got to talk about the returning racers here. Bradley Benedict Anthony, he had the best finish of 2nd overall, but that was all the way back in Season 3. And since then, he's only been able to place as high as 3rd overall in the championship. So just being able to take the win overall in this class is really, really hard for him somehow. And again, it's not due to him not putting out the effort. Sometimes it's also a bit of luck, maybe a bit of the bad luck that happens to his older brothers seems to have rubbed off a little bit on the younger, perhaps. But then again, what Brendan has been able to do is like dominate the sporting class in the first season. But then his brother now has been running in the sporting class for 3 seasons in a row, has been consistently putting himself in the top 3, but is yet to find that championship win.
Yes, so I guess talking about championship win, they all have their own beliefs right now. They have their targets, everything. Every single thing that they actually jotted down on their whiteboards will be put down on test right now. Maybe you can say it on a theory or maybe on a practical manner. Everything goes down right now, David.
Yeah, so it looks like Ravin is ready to unleash the racers to go out on the formation lap, which means that we are starting on time. There's not going to be any delays due to the changing weather here. The officials have judged that the conditions are still ripe for racing, so that's always good news here for us here in broadcast, to make sure that we are always going to be able to deliver the action to you guys at home no matter what. So now the driver is going to be going out trying to judge the conditions. You can see how much spray is already coming out a bit from the cars here, so that tells you how wet the conditions will be, especially at the start. So they're using this opportunity on the formation lap to also clear some of the wetness from the racing line maybe, but it's also an opportunity for the drivers to get a sense of where the grip, what the grip level is out on the track here, and hopefully be able to put that information into use when it comes to that first lap of racing.
Yes, for sure. So there you go. You'll be seeing Nakib Aslan on P1. P2 is going to be Abdul Mikhail. P3, Bradley Benedict. P4, Amirul Haikal. P5, Kenneth Ko. P6 for Dennis Ng. So we have a look on the others. On P7 is going to be Lau Seng Kiat. P8, Dato Kan Fo. P9, we see Tarmini Tahang. And P10 is going to be Aaron Haikal. P11 is going to be Dato Denny Yip. And P12 is going to be Wong Chinang.
Wong Chin Yi, yeah, another returning competitor. Some of the newer names here, it's going to be Kenneth Te from Team Focus Tetap, Muhammad Alif Shauki from Todak Wheelstar Motorsport, Eshan Muganathan turns yet again for Kajnash Vina Motorsports Racing, Amir Mirza Hussein drives for Race Rally KL, the second Race Rally KL car here. Hazik Zaria O is racing for the 20 Racing Team, and Shafiq Samsudin takes the last slot on the grid here after incurring a infringement during the scrutineering process, and that unfortunately disqualified him during qualification here today, so he will start from the back of the grid.
Yep, so I guess we will be going into our grid starts again as they're coming off from the last turn. So it's going to be a wet condition race. It is still raining outside, although it might not be very clear from here. But man, this is going to be a start of a wonderful journey in our sporting class for season 6.
Yeah. So now coming into the grid, this is going to be the moment that most drivers are already putting themselves into the zone. And once the last person on the grid takes their slot, that's when M. Ravin is going to start the countdown here to unleash the pack for the race here in race number 1 for the sporting class. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we come into the close of the day here, this is going to be the last race to open up our first round of the season. The green flag is being waved. The red lights should be coming up any moment here in the sporting class. Race number 1 is gonna be a go. Let's see whether Nabil Aslan will be able to hold his lead, or will Abdul Mikhail actually snatch it away from him. It looks like Nabil actually has a way better start here compared to Amirul, so he's gonna have to turn in here to try to defend the position away from Bradley Benedict, who is chasing from behind. But you gotta watch out for Kendall Cole because he has the outside. He's gonna actually try to run around the outside of Bradley, who's being blocked right now by the 23 Motors car. And look at that, Nabil Aslan just having a clear piece of road to go all the way and take the lead of the race as cars go in 4 wide, 3 wide, through turn number 2. So far so good, no major contact here and no one spinning out. It's perfect clean racing through the first 2 corners on the first lap.
Yeah, although it is pretty much wet out there on the track there, they are still keeping it very, very tiny so far. No incidents, and I can tell you, Nakib Aslan, Nabil Aslan is in P1. Oh my goodness, but yes, this man right now is still leading this race, and right behind him is going to be Abdul Mikhail. Yeah. And let's see in this race so far as they're coming into turn number 5, and we can really look forward to what's going to be happening in the straights very, very soon there, Victor. As you know, the gaps are not that far off from the rest of the pack.
I mean, the gap is so huge though between Nabil and the rest.
Yes.
But oh, he got a little bit squirrely coming through turns, the transition between turn 5 and 6. Driver's going to have to be very, very careful to not upset the balance of the car, trying to make that transition. And speaking of transitions though, Mikhail facing some pressure as Bradley Benedict takes a position away from him. Goes a little bit off track though, but still comes back just in time to stay in front of the 23 Motors car. Bradley Benedict Anthony in second place, but will Abdul Mikhail fight back though? He's taking around the outside. He has a lot of speed though.
Yeah, he really has all the speed he has. But right now, looking at how things have been going, Bradley Benedict in P2. Abdul Mikhail shifting his positions. Tries to go on the inside and tries to, give a little bit of mind games for Bradley Benedict. But maybe he might have a chance over here. But Bradley Benedict keeping it very, very calm. But both of them are going a little bit wider and giving a little bit of a chance for the other races. But now, it is still pretty much just not enough for Abdul Mikhail as he loses position. Oh no! Oh no!
Yep, I think that's a HLT car. Get a bit more contact with Abdul Mikhail. That's not what you want to do, man. Oh, the HLT car into the gravel there. And Kai Yi has made it up to 4th place, but now his race has been completely ruined.
I'm not sure who's cursed over here, Victor. We or them? Because, we just talked about how clean the race was. The first lap, wow, this is amazing, and boom, this happened.
Yeah, so that incident will definitely be under investigation. The car is still very much stranded out here. So that's Danny's in car number 85, forced out. Furious. And yeah, there's no way for him to get back in the race now. His car is completely beached here. I think we're going to be able to see a replay to see what exactly happened here. So the thing is, Abdul Mikhail lost his position to Danny's and Danny's went out onto the outside there, and he tried to, I think, defend against Abdul, but
in that turn, he tries to close him, but that's not the way, kind of.
I don't know. He may have just decided to turn in, not realizing that Abdul Mikhail already had his nose right against his fender. So it seems so unfortunate there. I don't know what more Mikhail can do because he was already trying to avoid the contact.
He can do much there, Victor, in that position. Yeah, maybe tries to avoid him, but then he was also closing in the space that Abdul Mikhail has. So I kind of feel, I mean, we can debate about this all day, but it's up to the race directors to decide what actually went wrong. But talking about what is going on, which is right at this moment, it is Nabil Aslan is still leading this race with a huge gap in front. And we have a little bit of a bumpers to bumpers over here. And how about for this, the car number 46, Kenneth Ko might be having a look on the inside now and maybe might get a little bit of a chance. Tamini Tahang, and Tamini Tahang still denies the opportunity for Kenneth Ko.
Oh, that was actually a pass by Darmimi on the outside of Kenneth Ko there, so he sensed that Kenneth was a little bit slow on the exit of turn 2. He took the opportunity, but it looks like he might have outbraked himself a little bit to turn 4, left it a little bit wide, went way off track. Can Kenneth get the place back? Not really. I think he's still going to be tucked in behind there, so even Darmimi went out of the track there. He still maintains track position, but I gotta say, Darmimi, what an amazing climb up to P4 here, because I don't think he qualified in that place. He definitely has been moving up the ranks here silently while the rain was making things so hard for everyone else around him.
Absolutely. So Tamini Tahang right now still keeping a very good pace and is still in the podium position. But for how long? Kenneth Ko has been putting a pressure right behind him. And Amirul Haikal coming in as well in P5 as we have another 18 more laps to go as they come into the Kuala Lumpur Straight. It's going to be turn 1 coming right up for them. But talking about what's coming up, it is going to be Kenneth Ko who might have a look on the outside of Kenneth Ko right now, of the Tamini Tahang. But let's see if Tamini Tahang is able to defend this against Kenneth Ko. But looking at how it is, how did he lost the pace there, Victor?
I don't know. He's going a little bit wide, but he might be trying to take a bit of a wet line there compared to Kenneth. The thing is, Kenneth also goes wide as well. In the meantime, car number 36 is getting it a little bit testy there. Amira Haikal not able to battle against Ken Fu. Now, here's one thing though about turn 3. There is a double yellow flag being waved here, so drivers are going to have to slow down a little bit. I don't know if passing is allowed at this point, but you already see Ken Fu just going for it anyway against Kenneth Ko, who seemed to be a little bit slow on the exit, but I think that Kenneth is able to recover himself back into the P4 just in the nick of time.
Yep, 17 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Tamini Tahang is still holding on his podium position, and Kenneth Ko had some sort of an opportunity just now, but I'm not sure how did he lose the position. But right now, car number 10, Dato Ken Fu, who might have an edge against Amirul Haikal, but Amirul Haikal is still holding a really good line over here and not giving him space. But how about on turn number 7? Oh, there's a little bit of a side bump over there, but still we see Amirul Haikal holding on. But how long is this the moment for Dato Ken Fu? And he got into the position ahead of Amirul Haikal.
Yeah, just kind of maintaining that right now, but this is really good battle as well, forming in the back as Shafiq is attempting to try to get himself back up into contention here, up into 7th place right now. Shafiq, well, trying to defend against Lao Sengkia as well as Abdul Mikhail in car number 23. But for now, Dato Ken Fu comes across the line now to take a 5th place here against Amirul Haikal. Let's see if he's going to be able to maintain this position though, because I think Amirul wants to try to fight back. You can already see Ken Fu taking a defensive line through here, tucking up just behind Kenneth Ko. Amirul Haikal attempts but cannot find a way to get past Dato Ken Fu's car.
Yeah, I mean, lots of pace that they have been losing on earlier on. We saw from Kenneth Ko especially, we really thought he might get past Tamini Tahang and get into P3. But until today, I'm not sure what happened. But talking about what's happening right now, it is Dato Ken Fu who is putting a really good performance so far in the remaining 16 laps to go. So I guess car number 85 and also 23 needs to report to the director.
Yeah, that's Danny's who got beached out there due to having contact with Abdul Mikhail. So it looks like there will be a decision made at the end of the session here, which means that they're going to definitely want to review onboards if possible, or perhaps interview the drivers to see who may be at fault here. But I don't know, it's really tough to tell in that situation what both drivers could have done, because on the one hand, Danny's lost a bit of control. He went off the track a little bit before coming back on. Did that cause him to go and cut in front of Abdul Mikhail, or was he trying to block him? It's really hard to tell from the camera angle we saw earlier on. So we'll leave it up to the stewards to make a decision, but that will only come after this race.
Yep, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another 15 more laps to go in our sporting class race number 1 for Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6. We're on board with the man on the number 46, Dato Ken, which is also none other than Kenneth Ko actually. Dato Ken Fu is right behind him. So let's see if Tamini Tahang is still able to contain both of them. Oh, he's going too wide.
Very
wide. A problem. And he got back inside again as quick as he can. But then, you know, danger is still lurking right next to him. And Kenneth Ko might just have a sniff on that, Peter.
Oh, I mean, this is very, very sketchy coming from Tamimi Tahang.
Yes.
So the thing is that as far as Tamimi's career has gone so far in this Toyota Gazoo Racing, his best finish has been 3rd place. So if anything, he definitely wants to try to emulate that kind of performance again, but it seems like in these wet conditions, it's proving to be quite a tall task for him as he goes a little bit wide as well through turn 4. Hopefully he stays within track limits through there, but Kenneth is just keeping his eyes peeled as far as Tamimi's car is concerned, because he sensed that there might be an opportunity on the horizon here for himself to get back up into the podium positions.
Yeah, Bradley Benedict still maintaining his position in P2. He might be chasing down the man in the front, but that's a huge gap. But talking about gap, it is a really 4-way battle at the back between Bradley Benedict and all the way to car number 10, Dato Can Fu. So here we go on board with the man in the green and white car, which is none other than Tamimi Tahang. Is still in P3 so far, but this might change at any moment there, Victor.
I mean, look at the gap now between Nabil Aslan and Bradley Benedict. He's been just gaining time. He's been setting like purple laps through and through. Now he's early on he set a purple lap of a 137. Now he's setting a 136. I think the track is starting to dry up a little bit, which is actually working well in Nabil Aslan's favor. But I don't know whether it's going to be working so much with Tamimi Tahang right now as he still continues to go a little bit wide. In fact, Nabil went a little bit wide through that turn just now. Might be struggling a little bit to find the grip, especially on the exit of turn 2. So that's something you're going to have to watch out for.
Yep, you definitely need to watch out for. But here we go. The man in the front, all alone there, Victor. He doesn't have much pressure, and considering about the gap that he has among Bradley Benedict and also Tamimi Tahang, it's very, very massive. So I believe Nabil will not be concentrating much, but we will be concentrating on the performance of Bradley Benedict Anthony right now, who performed absolutely well, started this race, got into P2, but how long can he maintain this with 14 laps to go?
I would assume he'll be able to maintain it a lot. I mean, he's no stranger to wet races, you know, Bradley Benedict, and in fact had experienced some success driving in a North Circuit even under these atrocious conditions. But I want to see whether or not he'll be able to challenge for the window, because based on the pace right now for Nabil Aslan has been putting out, seems like that's not going to be good here. And not good as well is Kenneth Cole just losing his position to Dato Ken Fu right now, just as he enter the final turn. This is turning bad to worse right now, as Kenneth is now back in the position that he started with at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, still putting on a really, really good, decent numbers over here. But let's see how how more laps do we have? We have another 13 more laps to go, and it seems like Bradley Benedict is still keeping up in P2. Tamimi Tahang might be the only threat behind him. But talking about the backs over here we go. We see Kenneth Ko still chasing down at Dato Can Fu. And it seems like Kenneth Ko going a little bit wider there, but still tries to tuck it in inside of it. And trying to just keep up with the pace there, Victor. But can this wet condition be another huge problem for them?
Here's the thing, you know, about driving in the wet on Sepang, it's a lot more slipperier than you might think, you know, because like if it rains on a public roads at least are very coarse, so there's still a lot of friction there for these drivers. But the thing is, on a racetrack, the tarmac is smoother, so that means that sometimes in the wet condition like this, it can be literally like driving on glass or on ice. So that's why you can see a lot of these cars kind of struggling to try to find the grip, struggling to even stay on a racing line. And it's no surprise that some of these drivers are going to have to very quickly think and adapt to the sort of situation here. And Bradley Benedict now is facing quite a bit of pressure as Tamimi Tahang seems to have caught up right behind him, and it's making sure that Bradley is going to be under pressure here with still 13 laps to go. That means that there might be an opening somewhere that Tamimi wants to try to force here onto Bradley so he can actually take away his track position.
Absolutely. So there you go. We're on board with the man who is still in P2, Bradley Benedict, as we have another 13 more laps to go, and Tamimi Tahang is still the one that is still able to keep up with him. But then we're having a look at the back there, Victor. We still see Lau Seng Kiat in P7, Amirul Haikal in P8, and then we still Shafiq in P9. I wonder what happened to Shanmuganathan. I mean, in the previous seasons, he kind of, you know, maintained this kind of same position. But here about Abdul Mikhail might be making a move towards Kenneth Ko, and maybe right now, and just could not do it there, perhaps. But let's see how about over this exit in turn number 2, and it seems like Kenneth Ko is just not letting him breathe there, Victor.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually cut the apex over there, but up to Mikhail is still not giving up though. He's still trying to run alongside, but actually takes it inside through turn 3. So this should be good now for the 23 Motors car, because he's actually battling quite well right now with with Kaneko, just as a track limit warning comes out for him though. So he's gonna have to watch out. He may be pushing the limit a little bit too much there. Now he gives the place back to Kenneth, so the Kenneth stays in front and still stays in 5th place for now. So Abdul Mikhail probably have to look for another opportunity again, but it's still 12 more at least with 12 laps to go.
You know, I have lots of questions on Axel Sports there, Victor. You know, Nabil Aslan started this race so well, and keeping himself all the way alone in the front, it's still a question today, because even in the previous I mean on the different class, his team has been performing so well. I wonder what the magic is.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna try to ask him later after this race, because there must be some sort of magic that these Axel boys have figured out here that others have not. So that's gonna be something really curious, because like they're dominating.
You gotta keep that secret, you know.
Like I mentioned, you know, there's no public telemetry data available between these drivers. So whatever one driver does, the other drivers do not know. So it's very hard, therefore, to see how they're gonna try to gain the same level of time that Nabil Aslan is doing. And in the meantime, though, Bradley looking a little bit out of shape here to turn 1. This might be an opportunity for Tamir Tahang to start to amp up the pressure here. And speaking of pressure, Abdul Mikhail takes it inside, takes a position away from Kaneko, who unfortunately has to concede that one, but is he going to be able to make it stick? He sticks to the inside. Dr. Kenpo actually blocks him a little bit, but Abdul Mikhail, unfazed, goes ahead and takes him on the inside here. He might be on par here, on course here to try to take 2 positions, but Dr. Kenpo still maintains himself in 4th place for now.
Wow, what a race that has been going on. You know, we just can't close our eyes for a while, and you will see lots of dramas happening in a split second, and maybe Kenneth Coe needs to defend this. Abdul Mikhail going off a little bit from the track. They got back inside, and this is the battle for P4. And let's see who's going to be able to make the very best out of it. And we are having on board with none other than Abdul Mikhail, who is ahead of Dato Ken Fu there.
And a bit of a touch and go there between Lao Sen-Kiat as well as Kenneth Ko, as they bump each other just behind where Dato Ken Fu is. Kenneth desperately trying to regain some track positions here, but again, Lao Sen-Kiat looks like he may have upgraded himself to 6th place here after that boost. So the things that are going wrong for Kenneth is just getting worse right now. Ken Fu's car has a lot of things dangling off of it. I mean, you already got the mirror kind of floating off. I think one of his decals has actually gotten loose with the contact with Abdul Mikhail, so that's actually flapping in the wind right now, so might be a little bit distracting for people behind. But speaking of distractions, look at what Tamir Tahang has done. He's got himself in front of Bradley. Is Bradley going to be able to fight back though? I don't think he has a position here, because Tarmimi has a defensive line going to turn 2. He takes a position from Bradley and goes up to P2.
Wow, that is some incredible move by Tamir Tahang. He is a very silent racer, I can tell you. We just did not see much of a drama from him, and boom, he's in P2 right now, and putting Bradley Benedict behind again. But Bradley Benedict, I'm very sure he does not want to get P3. He wants to go for P2, and he's hungry for P1 as well. But talking about reality, his only target right now on a reality, and there's this guy in front of him, none other than Tamir Tahang.
Yeah, unfortunately he went a little bit off the track in turn number 4, and Bradley is now all over him coming through these next sequence of corners. But I think Tamir Tahang is still handling the pressure pretty well, because he's able to stay on the line here through this very tricky and very technical corner here. Now he's coming up to the hardest part of this track, which is being able to nail the multiple apexes coming through turns 7 and 8 as well as 9. But it seems like Tamir Tahang is able to build up a good enough gap to keep himself in a comfortable arm's length away from Bradley Benedict by the time to get to the Kuala Lumpur straight.
Yes, here we go with 9 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 underway for the sporting class. Race number 1, we're having a huge battle in P1 all the way to P4. And talking about P2 at this moment, Bradley Benedict might be having a look from the outside, but then we see Tamir Tahang has a different idea to close him. But is that going to work or not? Bradley Benedict has different ideas, but Tamir Tahang on a consistent manner shuts the door again for the man who tries to get ahead of him.
Ooh, that looks like a little bit too close for comfort, but Darmimi still handled that well, though, even though he went a little bit off script, it feels like, but nevertheless, still able to fight back against Bradley's attempt through those two corners. So might have to try to do that again for the next 9 laps, though, because it seems that Bradley is not going to let this go without a fight, and a fight is definitely on hand here for P2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so with 9 more laps to go. Oh no, what's going on there?
He's gone a little bit off again. I mean, if you've seen Darmimi do this over and over again, that's always been opening the door now for Bradley to continue to hound him through the final sector. And this is a problem I think that Darmimi is going to have to figure out, because that is kind of literally the weakness that he's having right now in his wet line. He's not able to slow down his car enough to be able to make it through turn 4 without cutting the track limits. So this is presenting an opportunity right now for Bradley. Bradley can successfully force him to keep making the error over and over again. I think sooner rather than later, Bradley might be able to retake his track position.
Yep, Tamri Tahang, you are warned right now by Bradley Benedict, who is right now playing a little bit of a mind game. He's going left and right a little bit. Now he goes on the outside, and let's see, is there going to be a moment for him to overtake Tamri Tahang once and for all? Unless we see Tamri Tahang yet again being the man of composure, you know. He's just not letting this man breathe, but he's going wide again, and that is going to give a huge, huge advantage, but no!
Ooh, cutting across like that. Man, Bradley had to kind of slam the brake a little bit going to turn 2, but Darmimi still yet again stays in front of Bradley for now. But watch out for turn 4. Is he going to be coming off again, or is he still going to be able to stay on track? Let's see.
Yep, and talking about who's staying on the track for even longer with lots of comfort, it is the man in the front, Nabil Arslan. Man, look at that, Victor. The gap is just insane. That is a huge, huge gap between the race leader and the rest of the other pack. And here is Tamri Tahang.
Yet again, he's doing it again, like just going off the track and losing time that way, allowing Bradley to get back up on him. So again, I'm not so exactly sure like what is he doing wrong there that's necessarily causing him to do this, but whatever the case, that might make things a little bit hard for Darmimi to defend, because it just constantly means that Bradley will always stay within touch of him every single lap, and with 8 more to go, can Darmimi still hang on despite this level of pressure here?
That's the biggest question right now. Tamri Tahang needs to hold on to this, although the pressure is piling up between him and also Bradley Benedict, who's consistently pushing him to make mistakes. But so far, Tamri Tahang is holding on to it. He's been very consistent, composed. But then, I can tell you something that, you know, Bradley Benedict is an aggressive driver. And when he makes a move, he just makes a move. Talking about move, I believe Bradley Benedict has this opportunity to get into P2, but then Tamri Tahang comes in again with the same move. Can this be the moment for Bradley Benedict? But no, he's just not going to plan that, Victor.
Yeah.
Wow, how does he do this on a daily basis?
It's every day, bro. Tamri Tahang yet again just taking a wide line, which, you know, is actually the wet line in this race here. So it's still okay for him to take that wide as long as he's able to maintain enough average speed through the corner, and that's pretty much how he's able to stay alongside Bradley Benedict through there. So for now, Bradley is he's been trying over and over again to unsettle Darmimi. It's still successful in turn number 4, but Bradley hasn't been able to capitalize too much until just now. It looked like he was almost going to be able to have a look on the inside, but unfortunately he doesn't have enough speed, and now Abdul Mikhail is caught up to Bradley. He's attacking him from the inside now. This could be a 3-way battle here. Ooh, Abdul Mikhail getting very close to Tamri Tahang right now. Darmimi now having to defend against 2 drivers who are gunning after his P2 position.
Yeah, this is the battle of P2 as we have another 7 more laps to go as they come into the Kuala Lumpur Straight. Looking at how things have been going, it is pretty tight. The gaps between these 3 cars has been very, very small. But let's see about this turn number 1. Is there anyone that is able to surprise us? And talking about surprises, the first one with the bumblebee yellow there is doing some sort of a movements left and right. Here comes the man, Abdul Mikhail, who might surprise us all and taking away into P2. But Tamri Tahang again and again being composed, closing him down.
Yeah, again, taking the wet line, but look at Bradley Benedict taking all the way to the inside, trying to undercut Abdul Mikhail, but he's not able to hold the position through turn 2 though, and Abdul Mikhail still maintains himself in front of Bradley by the time to get through towards turn 3, and Tarmi Tahang all this while is using that opportunity to try to peel away from this battle here and let Pope Abdul Mikhail and Bradley Benedict sort things out themselves. He's like, okay, I just want to stay in P2 and I'm just going to try to run away with it.
I think, like, you know, for the third time I'm seeing almost a very similar, identical move from Tarmi Tahang. Unless we see Abdul Mikhail or also Bradley Benedict shutting down the same lane, there might be an opportunity. Talking about opportunities right now, this is going to be a battle between Abdul Mikhail and also Bradley Benedict as they're coming into turn number 6. And Abdul Mikhail right now got into P3, leaving Bradley Benedict behind.
Yeah, I mean, again, that looked like it was going to be close there for Bradley Benedict, but unfortunately Abdul Mikhail still held his head high and maintained his position. So this is looking like right now Abdul Mikhail on track to take the podium here with 6 laps to go. Bradley Benedict is going to have to do everything possible here to try to regain it, gain that position. But right now it seems like the battle between him and Damimi is just cost him a lot now, because Abdul Mikhail, who had previously dropped all the way down, has climbed all the way back up to the top 3 and is now on track for a podium. All he needs to do at this point now is just keep Bradley Benedict behind him.
Talking about Bradley Benedict, 5 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more laps to go to decide who is going to be finishing in their respective positions right now. But looking at how things have been going on, Abdul Mikhail stunned us all right now, taking into P3 and leaving Bradley Benedict out of the podium position. But here you go, the magic man in the front is none other than Nabil Aslan as he comes into his turn there, which is the exit into turn number 9. But over here, it looks like, you know, in front there's a safety car.
Kind of, maybe, but I'm just a little bit amused by the fact that Race Control has been handing out track limit warnings like nobody's business all day long. I mean, even Nabil Aslan now has been caught cutting the track limits here, so another warning has been sent his way. Kenneth Cole as well, so and also Abdul Mikhail has been warned at various points during this race. But these guys are really pushing the limit of what they can do on this track here, and they just need every last bit of advantage they can get. So it's no surprise that sometimes they may just go a little bit over unintentionally. But with 5 laps to go, this is 5 more laps where perhaps Abdul Mikhail to start to put a challenge on Tarmi Tahang, because it seems like he has put Bradley Benedict behind him. He's already closed the gap between himself and Tarmi Tahang, so maybe it might be seeing a final lap move here on the cards.
Most likely. So here you go, on to the turn number 1 with 4 more laps to go. Abdul Mikhail playing his mind games again. What's his strategy?
Whoa,
he's going
fainting.
left and right, and this time he might be going on the outside, but Tarmi Tahang has the inside this time as they come into the shifting part over here. It seems like Abdul Mikhail is the one that tries to close in from the inside, but then Tarmi Tahang yet again making the same movement that denies the rest of the other racers to get ahead of him. I still wonder how the rest of the other racers in the back there, Victor, yet to identify the spot to close Tarmi Tahang.
I'm just impressed that Tarmi Tahang is still somehow able to find a grip on this track, even though he's just taking
the same movement again,
the same line over and over, is still able to stay ahead of these guys, which is just impressive in itself. So he's on track to get himself a new career best finish of 2nd place. But Abdul Mikhail now putting a pressure on him. He looks like he's going alongside him through turn 5. Is he going to be able to take the position away now? Abdul Mikhail and 23 Motors car has his nose just in front, but Tarmimi has the inside coming after the transition, so he will be able to fight back. He will be able to hold on, but can he keep Abdul Mikhail behind those? Sliding and drifting their way into the final corner. Abdul Mikhail is still able to keep his car on track and stays in front of Tarmi Tahang to take away P2.
3 more laps to go and the drama has changed. And there you go, the man in the front right now in P2, it is going to be Abdul Mikhail. And what a performance by this man, who is surprising us all today. He came all the way from the back, and man, right now he is in P2. He might not be challenging Nabil, but he's definitely giving a headache for Tarmini and also Bradley Benedict.
the last dozen or so laps, Abdul Mikhail has been the hunter throughout the sporting class. Now he in P2 is going to be the hunted because he got two very, very angry drivers now looking to try to retake the position here. I mean, Darmi Tahang not going to be taking this sitting down here. He's going to be pushing Abdul Mikhail through these next few laps here, and with 3 to go, he needs every last opportunity now to try to regain position, but Abdul Mikhail just needs to try to hold on for dear life here, hoping that the results of the investigation by race control is going to favor him so that he wouldn't get a penalty. But for now, his main goal is to finish as high up as possible here in the sporting class, and we know just based on his qualifying times, he definitely has the talent to do that.
Absolutely. 3 more laps to go, and Abdul Mikhail is still in his position, but right behind him is going to be Tamni Tahang and also Bradley Benedict. And we can tell you that, you know, things can change in a split of seconds, but at this moment, nothing much changed over here. Abdul Mikhail maintaining his position, Tamni Tahang right behind him. But then with 3 more laps to go, one single mistake from Abdul Mikhail can cost it. But then he's the predator, right? He's the man that hunted all these races who are enjoying themselves in the front. But he just came in, he said, you know, time's up. Time to, you know, go to sleep or something, and here you go. He got into P2, leaving these two having a battle of their own.
Look at that, Abdul Mikhail now leaving Darmi Tahang in the dust, and now Darmi is going to have to defend against Bradley Benedict for the next couple of laps because Bradley's already caught up with him on the Kuala Lumpur straight, having a look around the outside, not finding opportunity yet. He's going to try to take it easy first. There's still at least one more chance here for Bradley, so he cannot afford to screw it up. Now taking a little bit of a wet line there is Darmi Tahang. He still is able to position his car just well enough to keep Bradley Benedict at bay through turn number 2. But 2 laps ago, it's still looking like a very tense moment here for Darmimi because he's on the verge of was on the verge actually of getting a new career best finish, but now he's back in 3rd place, the final podium position, and he does not want to let this opportunity slip him by.
For sure. 2 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tune in, this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 Sporting Class race number 1. Or should I say the last race of our day? And here you go, Nabil Aslan. It is still in P1 with the best lap timing over there. He has clocked a really, really good one and keeping himself all the way in the front. I'm not sure if Nabil Aslan is actually racing or he's just trying to be the safety car right now, because right behind him is a massive, massive gap. It seems like, you know, hey guys, I'll make sure check the track, you know, there's no debris or something, and make sure you guys are having a good battle at the back. Good luck.
I wouldn't even peg him as a safety car. If anything, he's the anti-safety car because he's just pushing lap by lap. Safety car's point is he really slow down and collect the rest of the pack.
This is the alternative one.
Yeah, he's exact opposite. He's pulling away from the pack, you know, all throughout this race here. But nevertheless, Bradley Benedict, this is going to be the last lap. This is going to be the last chance now to get on the podium positions. What is Bradley going to do? He's going to stay on the outside, or maybe fade into the inside now. Darmi Tahang not going to be able to react to that in time, but is Bradley going to have enough speed though to get past him? Darmi Tahang still taking a wet line, still able to stay in front of Bradley Benedict. Oh my goodness, Bradley, his last shots may have just gone by him here, but he still has a few more corners to go. Can he successfully find a way to close up the Darmimi? Maybe not though, because by the time they get to turn 3, Darmimi is already miles ahead of where Bradley Benedict is.
Yep, last lap, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment for them to put their names on the podium position, but Abdul Mikhail is the man that really surprised us all today there, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was such a shame that he had that incident with Danny's Ng, because that means that it's still kind of up in the air right now whether or not his position will hold. There may be penalties there if the stewards decided that Abdul Mikhail was at fault for that contact, because again, they're going to have to make a decision after this session here. But nevertheless, Abdul Mikhail has done his level best now to recover in spite of all of that to get up into P2, but the man of the race here is coming across the line now. The checker flag is out. He is celebrating as he takes the win in race number 1 for the sporting class in round 1 of season 6.
Yeah, speed 2 comes in for the Predator. None other than Abdul Mikhail finishing in a very good position. Tamni Tahang in P3. P4 for Bradley Benedict. Cannot go coming in on P5 after having a chaotic race at the back, and here you go with the rest of the other packs. We see Dato Kanfu, Shafiq in P7, Lao Sian Kian in P8, and this is car number 36, Amirul Haikal coming in as well. as we know the race has ended. What a race it has been on the sporting class, where now we know who is being hunted, who is having a safety car journey, and who is the one that is causing lots of Robin Hood kind of a job over here.
Oh man, this has been quite a topsy-turvy race. I mean, again, I think the only thing that has been kind of like expected really was that Nabil Aslan was going to be holding head and shoulders above everyone else. I mean, he was the only guy doing qualifying, mind you, to break under 126. So we knew from the get-go that this kid was going to be fast, but I did not expect that he would be 10 seconds ahead of the competition throughout this entire wet race. I mean, man, is anything going to keep the Aslan brothers down?
That's going to be a massive, massive question. You know, I'm going to ask, you know, is there anything or any team that's going to give a problem for Axel Sports this season there, Victor?
I wonder, yeah. I mean, based on trajectory right now, I mean, at least in Super Sporting class, they know at least there's one problem. His car number is 61.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I don't think there's much problems here for Nabil Aslan. He's cruising his way to his victory here for the first time in a sporting class. What a journey it's been for the former rookie here in TGR, now racing in with the big boys and dominating them at their own game.
Absolutely perfect, perfect race we saw, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're wondering what is this is the Toyota Gazoo Racing Season 6 as we ended our sporting class race number 1. And the man in the front we already saw, and we'll be having a look on the provisional results. And here we go on P1. It is going to be the Axel Sports magician Nabil Aslan, who was disguised as a safety car at some point. And P2, it's going to be Abdul Mikhail, the Predator. P3 for Tarni Tahang. P4 for Bradley Benedict Anthony. P5 Kenneth Ko. P6 for Dato Ken Fu. P7 Shafiq Samsudin. P8 Lao Sian Kiat. P9 Amirul Haikal. P10 for Aaron Haikal. And the rest we see Kenneth Tay on P11. P12 Dato Denny. P13 we see Wong Chin Ek. P14 is going to be Muhammad Alif Safki. P15 we see Hasik Zaril O. P16 for Shanmuganathan. P17 is going to be for Amir Mizra Hussein. And last but not least, who actually did not complete the race, it's going to be Dennis Ernie.
Yeah, so that's going to be something for the stewards to find out who was in fault for that contact between car 23 as well as 85. Let's have a look at the highlights one more time. And I'm still very impressed at the fact that, you know, the start has been relatively smooth, actually. You know, I mean, again, drivers were probably very cautious going in that first turn because they knew the grip level was going to be very low, but still, they were fighting, 3 wide, 4 wide through there. It was still very, very tricky through there, and we did see some casualties in the form of rear view mirrors through there. And then this was the incident that caused Abdul Mikhail and Danny Ng to crash at each other, and that unfortunately ended Danny Ng's race there as he got beached out on the gravel. Abdul Mikhail was still able to rejoin the race, but only had been able to get back up to somewhere around 6th or 7th place. In the meantime, there was a battle here forming between Dato Ken Fu as well as Kiat. Then later on, Bradley Benedict and Darmi Dahan were constantly jostling with each other for that podium position. Then Kenneth Ko had been steadily kind of dropping positions throughout. He got overtaken by Dato Ken Fu, and then here he got himself into a bit of a battle with Abdul Mikhail, and unfortunately lost this battle here, allowing Abdul Mikhail to be able to get past him and be able to continue his climb up to P2. So, you know, Abdul Mikhail, in spite of the fact that there's still a decision hanging over his head from race control, is still just continued to keep his head down, continued racing, continued overtaking his rivals, and got himself all the way up to P2.
Yep, so that is the entire moments that happened in our race. And the one that really surprised me is this man in that yellow and also black car there. I can tell you that, Victor, I was surprised. I was, you know, I really thought maybe he might be fighting in the top 4s, or maybe it might be in the top 5 or something. I did not expect at all him to come hunting all the other races in the front, you know. It's just like, you know, party's over, kids. it's time for me to come over and boom, he just got into P2.
Yeah, I mean, again, Abdul Mikhail was just racing for his life, practically throughout this entire thing here. Seems to have paid off so far. Let's just hope that the penalty, if there is a penalty that comes through, isn't going to be too bad for him. But nevertheless, what a fantastic performance here for the driver in the 23 Motors car. And a brilliant way to cap off our first day of our first round in Season 6, because, wow, what a series of races we had here today, isn't it, Matthew?
I mean, I can tell you, Season 6 is my favorite start of the season. I really loved everything that happened, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess that is the end of our highlights, as we saw Nabil Azlan winning the race, and you guys are back with us again. My name is Matthews Isaac, and next to me it is Victor Cass, as we bring you all the actions live here from Sepang International Circuit. But man, I can tell you the races that we have today, starting from Super Sporting, Rookie, Promotional, and also Sporting, is intense.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love the way that we started this season off. I mean, with a bang and a boom and lots of things that they're going to be looking forward to, especially when we come to race number 2. But nevertheless, though, it's going to be now time for us to go and check in with our favorite host right now on the main stage in our very event here. Let's go ahead and have a look at what Nas has been up to so far.
As well, your casters, for the race 1. This has been round 1 of Season 6. So thanks, guys. You've been a great help. Did you guys see that? Well, I mean, I wish I could replay the highlights one more time. But a superb race from Nabil Azlan. Of course, our last season's rookie champion coming in and just continuing where he left off with Sporting class. And he was ahead about 10 seconds all the way. The other person we pay attention to was the boy I interviewed, 17-year-old Abdul Mikhail from 23 Motorsports. I've already sensed there's something special about this boy. Even though skidding out and coming into 8th place, he fought his way back to 2nd. Now this boy is a contender for sure. And true enough, his prediction came true. Abdul Mikhail said, I asked him, who's his biggest contender for Sporting class? And he said, Nabil Azlan, and it's come true right here at Sepang International Circuit. All right, so all 4 classes have gone through race day 1. We look forward to race day 2 tomorrow, and it's going to be reverse grid as well. Strategies will change, and we'll see who comes out on top here during round 1. Baiklah, kepada peminat Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival, semestinya selepas racing kita ada entertainment, dan kali ini kita bawa seorang lagi Toyota Gazoo Racing family member kita yang dah lama menyepi. Kali ini dia pun tak race juga, tapi dia setia datang hanya untuk anda semua. Ladies and gentlemen, tepukan gemuruh untuk Wany Hasrita.
Oh, hai, Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera semua. Hello yang tengah tengok dekat Facebook Live. Wow, saya sebenarnya sangat teruja. Ingatkah Abang Nas nak borak dengan saya dulu tak ya? Last ya? Okay. So, I am so happy. Hi. Dapat balik dekat sini balik, but not as a racer. But hi Pipa. How are you? Good. Dan tak membuang masa, kita lagu pertama lah. Ayo, jom kita pedas. Bukan yang kaling-kaling, jangan nak main-main. Ini tiada pesaing, bukan yang lain-lain. Satu dalam dunia, memang luar biasa. Bukan jenis bersaing, tak boleh dipancing-pancing. Jangan pandang sebelah mata, sebelum panas dirasa. Tak perlu bermanja dinda, jika tak mampu tahan pijat. Siapa makan celing, dia yang merasa. Kalau tak biasa, bisanya merana. Kalau tak tahan yang pedas, jangan cuba pegang lepas. Oh yeah, pedas. Boleh turun tak? Tak jauh je kan? pedas, 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 pedas. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Celupa menular macam ular, datang pula si manis gula-gula yang mula-mula pura-pura lebih, lepas pura-pura cuba-cuba lebih, lama-lama naik pula kepala ketujuh kepala. Hanya ketara pada anak darah, tegur ada cara, cakap ada cara, jadi fikir sebelum bersuara. Jangan pandang sebelah mata sebelum panas dirasa. Adik malu kenapa? Tak perlu bermanja dinda. Jika tak mampu tahan bicara, siapa akan cilik dia yang merasa. Kalau tak biasa, misalnya berada. Kalau tak tahan pedas, jangan cuma pegang lepas. Yeah. Pedas, 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 pedas. Saya suka lah yang ini. Jangan pandang sebelah mata sebelum panas dirasa. Tak perlu bermanja dinda. Jika tak mampu tahan pijar, go! Dia yang merasa. Kalau tak biasa, bisa dan merana. Kalau tertahan yang pedas, jangan cuma pegang lepas. Terima kasih. Saya nak tanya lah, boleh tak? Yang ni pakai duduk tudung biru, planning ke apa? Plan ke apa?
Plan, of course plan.
Okey, support. Oh, 37. 37, siapa
Ahirin.
Wow. Ahirin tadi, Tahir dipancit Saya tengok tau first race. Punyalah rindu. Kan? Punyalah rindu. Yang belah sini saya nampak semua pakai baju ni merah. Boleh tanya tak? Oh! Pipa dengan cerita tadi Pipa main bowling orang, betul ke? Tengah hari tadi, bowling orang. Sekejaplah. Rindulah Pipa. Mari Pipa. Abang Nas, syok Saya ambil tugas Abang Nas. Kau main bowling orang ke tadi, tengah hari?
Tengah hari?
Yalah kau, Abang Zizan jadi bowling dengan cerita tadi?
Ya, diorang memang kat sini bukan nak main kereta, dia nak main bowling. Lepas tu diorang nak tanya, senang ke tak nak main kereta ni? Pusingkan tayar memang susah. Main bowling nak pusingkan bola tu pun memang senang. Ini susah lah. Itu senang.
Tapi first race, how was it? Is it okay? Still boleh keep up? Ataupun macam boleh lagi ni?
Wani, okay, for the first time sebenarnya. Wani pun experience first time kan. So first time tadi memang tipulah kalau kita tak nervous kan. Sebab kita from zero, kita tak tahu apa-apa. So tadi race tu, starting tu ada problem sikit lah. So tak habiskan lah Wani.
Tak apa, it's okay. Sebab first race aku pun, aku ingat lagi komentar cakap, Wany Hasrita tidak bergerak, Wany Hasrita tidak bergerak. Memang aku tak bergerak, aku tak masuk gear. So, normal. So, okay, bagi tepukan untuk Pipa. And bye-bye. Balik dah ke? Okay, practice. Member practice. And saya sangat yakin Pipa akan naik podium salah satu race nanti. So, Pipa don't worry. Everything boleh settle. Okay, untuk lagu yang seterusnya. Saya nak duduk sini. Jom, terimalah. Canggung. Jadi
kemari yang begitu hari.
Ki tinggi sikit. Janji.
Kepati. Kau ikari kata-kata.
Mana bumi yang dipijak, situ langit yang dijunjung, sama juga hati. Hati ketipa berlalu canggung. Nak lari ke? Bila hati berlalu rindu, siapa nak tanggung? Hati ketipa meretak canggung. Kasihku tu? Apa tadi tu? Okay, next lagi. Tiada penghujung hari
Berganti hari disusuli rindu yang menanti.
hati
Mencari cinta yang sejati dan aku
mana bumi situ langit sama juga hati tiba-tiba berlagu canggung bila hati berlagu rindu siapa nak tanggung hati ketipa meretak canggung kasihku
padamu tiada penghujung.
Di mana bumi yang ku pijak, situ langit yang ku junjung, sama juga hati. Di mana bumi yang ku pijak, situ langit yang ku junjung, sama juga hati. Hati ketipa meranggu canggung bila hati berlagu rindu siapa nak tanggung hati ketipa berentak canggung everybody kasihku tiada penghujung mana bumi situ langit yang dijunjung mana bumi situ langit kasihku padamu tiada penghujung. I love you guys. Toyota Gazoo Racing Malaysia, I love you so much. Thank you so much.
And we love you too, Wany Hasrita, everybody! Oh, saya berdiri di atas satu pentas bersama dengan Wany Hasrita. Hatiku ketimbang juga.
Saya rasa saya banyak main lah hari ni.
Ya ke?
Ya, saya banyak main sebab ramai orang.
Sebab awak rindukan kita, betul tak? Betul tak?
Betul.
Bila saya first time tengok rundown untuk promotional races kita, mana Wany Hasrita kita? Kenapa tak race lagi dengan kita?
Sebab kasih saya 1 tahun, berehat dulu. Tahun depan, please Toyota invite lagi, please.
Sempat. Ya,
kenapa tu nantilah.
InsyaAllah, take a break sekejap.
Betul,
saya pun
take a break
faham.
kejap.
Kan. Jadi macam mana dengan perkembangan kerja tahun ini? Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah sekarang ni memang tengah orang kata tu kita penuhi apa yang datang dan juga sekarang ni tengah busy, kita tengah buat lagu raya.
Lagu raya.
Betul.
Puasa pun belum dah bikin lagu raya ni.
Ya, tapi kita kena sediakan naskah tu sebelum puasa lagi sebenarnya.
Betul.
Kan. So ya, kita tengah sekarang ready untuk raya dan sebenarnya saya tengah cari lagu baru, solo. So siapa-siapa komposer di luar sana tu kan nak bagi saya lagu, boleh lah.
Itulah dia dengan suara merdu dan lunak Wany Hasrita. Sila kirimkan naskah anda. InsyaAllah Wany Hasrita akan menghidupkannya. Betul?
InsyaAllah.
Sekali lagi tepukan untuk Wany Hasrita.
Thank you guys. Oh, esok saya ada lagi tau.
Ada lagi?
Jangan bosan tengok saya dah lah.
Betul. Sebab Wany betul rindukan kita dekat Sepang International Circuit. Dia akan terus menyokong Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival.
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih Wany. Assalamualaikum. Dan kepada para penonton kita yang sedang menonton secara langsung dan juga those of you here at Sepang International Circuit, we draw the curtain on round 1, race day 1. Tapi more racing action coming to you tomorrow. Jadi bersiap siaga bersama saya. Upacara pelancaran Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival akan berlangsung esok 8.30 pagi. And we shall continue on with race day 2 dengan 4 klasifikasi kita. Siapa yang akan unggul di pusingan pertama ini? Kita nantikan race day 2 full of thrills and spills because this is Gazoo Racing. Saya Nazruddin Rahman, pengacara anda. Saya akan menemani anda esok hari untuk race day 2. Dan dengan itu, insya-Allah saya mengucapkan Assalamualaikum. Kalau ada silap dan salah, harap maafkan ya. Alright. Sekali lagi, Tabik hormat buat anda semua. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Just what on earth is Gazoo Racing? Gazoo Racing is a spirit. The spirit of pushing one's limits. It's more than just a badge, a symbol, or a poster on a wall. Gazoo Racing is Kaizen of competitiveness. It's the rubber hitting the road again and again and again. Fine-tuned on the world's most demanding racetracks. Powered not just by all forms of energy, but also by our passion to accelerate, exhilarate, elevate the Toyota mandate of making ever better cars. Moving not just people, but the human spirit forward. This is our spirit. This is Gazoo Racing.
Toyota. Move your world.
Toyo tires.
Ready, team. We have 5 and counting. If we don't make it, everything goes boom.
Package on the move.
Release the beast.
ETA 100. Standing by. Ready to receive. Package acquired. Inbound. 1 click.
Watch out!
That was a close call.
3 minutes to target. Let's burn! Beyond you in 5. It's going to be too close.
It's not over yet.
Clock ticking. Punch it.
Package received.
Whoa, this thing's fast.
Target in sight. The beasts are here. 5, 4.
Now! Nice work, guys.
I'm gonna need some new tires.
Passion, honing skills to precision, fine-tuning even the smallest details to push the limits of their performance in the pursuit of perfection. Toyota Tour, where champions swing into action.
Toyota, move your world.
一言で言いますと、家族的でプロフェッショナルなチーム。モータースポーツを起点にしたね、もっといい車作りで、プロフェッショナルといわば私のような一般ドライバーが一緒になってですね、モータースポーツを起点にしたいい車作りをやるチームと思っていただければいいです。発表と同時に、こういうモータースポーツの場で、車を鍛えるというのがこのルーキーレーシング GR ヤリスの、ミッションだったと思います。で、壊して限界を知り、そこを強くして、そしてまた新たなネックが出てきた時にそれをまた強くしようと。水素エンジンを登場させ、やはり環境に優しいモータースポーツのやり方は一体何かというのを提案したいと思います。今回の水素エンジンは初めからモータースポーツのど真ん中の中に入れ込んで開発をやっていく、電気自動車のレースというのもいいんですけれども、我々自動車業界550万人の人たちが長年培ってきたこのエンジンというものも活用しながら、モータースポーツが持続的かつプラクティカルにつながるような一つの提案が24時間を皮切りにルーキーレーシングとトヨタ自動車が皆さんにご提供できていくんじゃないのかなと思います。
水素エンジンというのはガソリンに代わって水素をタンクに溜めて、それを燃料にしてガソリンのエンジンのようにエンジンでそれを燃やしてエネルギーを取り出して走っていくと。
トヨタは水素といえば FCEV 未来を出してますから、水素でもう車って走ってるじゃんって思う人も多いと思うんです。
未来はですね、同じように水素を燃料エネルギーにしてるんですけど、水素を使って発電してるんですね。だからエンジンは実はないんですよ。でも今回の車はエンジンがあって燃料が水素になってるだけなんですね。今まであったエンジンをそのまんま使いながら燃料をカーボンニュートラルなものに変えられるということは、ガソリン車を最初に出しておいて後々置き換えていくってことだってできるようになるかもしれない。だから車の作り方が変わっていくと思ってるんですよ。そういう未来の扉を今開けようとしてる感じです。
水素ってこうエコーっていうイメージがやっぱあるんで、
見せた方がいいかもしれない。見せた方がいいかもしれない。カーボンニュートラルにおける挑戦の旅が始まりました。このカーボンニュートラル時代において一つの選択肢に絞るわけではなく、いろんな今まで培ってきた技術をベースにした内燃機関をもカーボンニュートラルに生き残り、かつ発展させる方法があるんではないかと。敵は炭素であり内燃機関ではない。こうした意志ある情熱と行動により10年後20年後の未来の姿が変わってくると思います。一戦一戦積み重ねることによってこうして仲間が増えていること。
カーボンニュートラルは共感で動くべき。
いろんな方々がいろんな思いを持ってここに賛同してくれてます。水素エンジンにおける2年目の挑戦、昨年よりも距離を伸ばしました。余分に走った分だけ我々水素社会の未来に我々の情熱と行動でつなぐ立った方です。ワンチームジャンプ。If we move this kind of activities
if we continue this kind of activities, all the people feel the same feelings, then everybody come to the one team, then we can make our future together.